Chapter 705. Hee hee. Xiaochen thought for a while and said, Shuang, actually, you can buy some better things that are slightly more expensive. You don't have to buy things that are sold at street stalls. Your grandma's illness has been cured. You don't have to work so hard to earn money. I heard that the shanty town is going to be demolished soon. I plan to save money and buy a big house for my grandma. Then we can move there. Lu Shuang had her own plan. In Songning City now, buying a big house in a slightly better area will cost at least a few million, right? Of course, I have to save money. If you don't have enough, you can tell me. Xiaochen was not short of money now. He still had 100 million from Qing Zhongfan in his bank account. Forget it. If I take your money, I won't have the confidence. You can't force me to make the previous decision. Lu Shuang said, you'd better save me some face and dignity. Do I look like the kind of person who likes to use force? Xiaochen was speechless. That's not it. Hee hee. Lu Shuang said, all right. If I don't have enough money, I will tell you. Okay. Xiaochen drove to the biggest car market in the city. Not only were there many expensive imported cars, but also ordinary agricultural vehicles and trucks were also sold there. Usually, people who wanted to buy cars went there. The Porsche 4S shop where Jean Bebe maintained her car was also near the car market. By the way, do you know anything about rice transplanters? Lu Shuang asked. I looked it up on the internet. They are divided into manual and automatic ones. The price ranges from a few thousand to tens of thousands, or even hundreds of thousands. Let's go and have a look. These things are clearly marked. They can't be deceived. How much does your uncle want to buy? Xiaochen asked. Tens of thousands will do. He asked me to give him some advice. In fact, he doesn't know much about it. He just knows that it's easier to watch these things on TV. Lu Shuang said, when the time comes, we can help him make the decision. Okay. Let's see. Xiaochen parked the car in the parking lot of Car City, got off the car with Lu Shuang, and walked into the exhibition hall. Whether it was an imported car or a farm vehicle, there were corresponding booths in the exhibition hall. Xiaochen did not intend to look for it one by one in Nua Auto City. As long as he found the booth in the exhibition hall, he could get the information and go to the corresponding address. This was the largest car sales market in Songning City, and it was newly built in recent years. The rapid development of the city made the land in the urban area extremely expensive. It might have been a remote place at first, but a few years later, it became a business district, so the heavy rent made many car dealers unable to bear the burden. After all, they weren't the kind of merchants that could open a business casually. They needed a lot of land to sell their cars, and they couldn't sell them on the second or third floor of a shopping mall. Therefore, building a car city was the common wish of these people. Xiaochen couldn't remember when this car city was built, but he vaguely remembered that it seemed to be related to a certain family. Xiaochen didn't inquire about which family it was. After all, the Xiao family couldn't do such a huge business at that time. It was useless to inquire. However, Xiaochen had been here several times before, and he came with Chen Jinpeng. As a prodigal son, how could Xiaochen not come here? But even if he had been here before, Xiaochen didn't know where the farm vehicles were sold. Xiaochen took Lu Shuang into the exhibition hall. Because there was no planned route, they could only wander around. The exhibition hall was very large, covering almost all kinds of cars. Almost all domestic and foreign brands were there, including some special imported cars. Lu Shuang looked at all kinds of beautiful cars. In the past, she had only seen such cars on TV and magazines. Occasionally, she could see some luxury cars at the entrance of the Warrior Guild, but she had never been to such a place. Xiaochen saw that Lu Shuang seemed to like it very much, so he said, why don't I buy you a car? You go to the Warrior Guild every day, and it's quite a long way. How do you get there? By bike. Lu Shuang said, there are no public buses there, so I can only go by bike. Then you should pick one. I'll give it to you. Xiao Chen didn't expect Lu Shuangshuang to still ride a bike every day. After passing by an exhibition hall, Xiao Chen pointed at a small car and said, I think this car is not bad. It's quite suitable for girls to drive. Seeing that Xiao Chen and Lu Shuangshuang stopped, a sales lady immediately walked out of the store and waved at them enthusiastically. Are you two looking at cars? Although Xiao Chen and Lu Shuangshuang's clothes were ordinary, cars weren't a luxury anymore. Many working-class people and even workers could afford it, so the sales lady didn't even think about whether these two could afford it. Most people didn't think about whether they could afford to buy it, but whether they could afford to drive it. After all, the cost of maintaining a car wasn't low. Let's just look around. Xiao Chen didn't expect this person to be so enthusiastic. He just pointed randomly, and she came. If he didn't stay and take a look, it would be a little embarrassing. He couldn't help but ask, what car is this? This is a new car launched by Cheng, an automobile. It's very cost-effective, and it's selling very well now. The sales lady immediately introduced, whether it's a car or a small SUV, it's currently selling very well. How much is it? Xiao Chen asked casually. More than 80,000 for the automatic transmission, said the sales lady. Lu Shuangshuang was indeed tempted. She originally thought that a car would cost at least a few $100,000, but she didn't expect that the domestic cars were so cheap. They were quite beautiful, especially the automatic transmission, which was suitable for girls to drive. If it was very expensive, she really would be embarrassed to ask Xiao Chen to buy it for her, but this car was only tens of thousands, so Lu Shuangshuang didn't think much of it. What do you think? Xiao Chen asked Lu Shuangshuang. Let's see. Lu Shuangshuang hesitated and planned to think about it. Xiao Chen didn't force it. Seeing that Lu Shuangshuang didn't agree, he thought she didn't like it, so he didn't say much. It doesn't matter. This is my business card. My name is Li Shui, and I'm the sales representative here. If you like it, you can test drive it. The sales lady enthusiastically gave Lu Shuangshuang a business card. She could see that Lu Shuangshuang was actually tempted. Lu Shuangshuang took the business card and left the exhibition hall with Xiao Chen. You don't like it? Xiao Chen waited until they left before he asked. I think it's okay, but I'm thinking that the car is indeed cheap, but the cost of gas, maintenance, and some other expenses are quite high. Lu Shuangshuang said, forget it. Let's not buy it. Let's ride a bicycle. It's more environmentally friendly. Actually, I think it's okay to buy one. It's not eye-catching in your shanty town. The main thing is that your grandmother has recovered. It's spring now. You can take her out for a walk. It's more convenient to have a car. You can't ride a bicycle to carry her, right? Xiao Chen suggested. That's true. When Lu Shuangshuang heard that Xiao Chen said she could take her grandmother out, she was suddenly tempted, but she still said, let's show my uncle the rice transplanter first. Okay. Xiao Chen nodded, and the two walked forward aimlessly. The two of them continued to walk forward. Before they knew it, they had come to the exhibition hall of imported cars. The Porsche 4S that Jean Bebe had repaired before also had an exhibition hall here. Although Lu Shuangshuang did not buy it, she could still enjoy the view. She couldn't help but take out her mobile phone and stand in front of a red Land Rover Aurora to take a selfie. Xiao Chen didn't think there was anything wrong with it, so he stood aside and waited for her. However, when Lu Shuangshuang was taking the selfie happily, she was suddenly stopped by someone. Hey, isn't this Lu Shuangshuang? It's really you. Lu Shuangshuang looked up and saw an arrogant, fair-skinned, rich, and beautiful woman. She was holding the arm of a second-generation rich man and walking toward her. The one who called her was the fair-skinned, rich, and beautiful woman. Lu Shuangshuang was slightly stunned. Only then did she recognize who the person in front of her was. Su Xiaolu? Are you here to buy a car? Is this your boyfriend? Su Xiaolu looked at Lu Shuangshuang with some disdain, especially when she saw that Xiao Chen didn't have any brand on him. She was even more disdainful. Lu Shuangshuang, the genius goddess of our class, I didn't expect you to be so miserable. Oh, by the way, I heard that you dropped out of high school and didn't go to college. TSK, TSK. Alas, your life is so gloomy. A trace of anger flashed in Lu Shuangshuang's eyes, but obviously, she didn't want to cause trouble or talk to the person in front of her. She put away her mobile phone and turned to Xiao Chen, saying, Xiao Chen, let's go over there and have a look. This is my junior high school classmate. We don't know each other very well. Don't know each other very well? Su Xiaolu, however, stood in front of Lu Shuangshuang mockingly and said in a strange voice, we are desk mates. Do you think we don't know each other very well? Su Xiaolu, what do you want? Lu Shuangshuang stopped helplessly. She didn't want to talk to Su Xiaolu anymore. She hated this woman very much. She used to hate her, and she still hated her now. Weren't you very arrogant when we were in school? You didn't let me copy in the exam? You even told me to study on my own, or else I would have no future. Who is the one who has no future? Ha 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 ha. Su Xiaolu finally found a sense of existence. She laughed and said, let me tell you, I went to college. When she was in junior high, she didn't study well. Usually, during exams, she always wanted to copy the exam papers of her desk mate, Lu Shuangshuang. However, Lu Shuangshuang wouldn't let her. After a few times, the two of them had a conflict. However, Su Xiaolu's family conditions were good. Although she didn't go to high school, her family spent a lot of money for her to go to a high school on loan. She had a very rich boyfriend at school and even helped her to go to a university. Although she didn't get in with a proper reason, she still felt superior in front of Lu Shuangshuang, who dropped out of school. Shuangshuang, is your classmate crazy? Xiao Chen looked at Su Xiaolu, who had a sense of accomplishment on her face. He really didn't understand where her sense of accomplishment came from. Don't care about her. Let's go. Lu Shuangshuang took a deep breath. Chapter 706. In fact, not being able to go to college was a sore point for Lu Shuangshuang. She was very good in junior high school. After entering high school, because she had to work part-time, her grades plummeted. Her family's financial situation did not allow her to go to college, so she dropped out of school to work. In fact, deep in her heart, Lu Shuangshuang still wanted to go to school to study. This was also the reason why Lu Shuangshuang was tempted when Xiao Chen suggested that she go to school. Go? Don't you want to buy a car? Su Xiaolu looked at the phone in Lu Shuangshuang's hand strangely and suddenly laughed. Ha 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 ha, I know. You came here to show off, right? Take a few photos in front of the car and post them on your WeChat moments. Just say it's your car. Ha 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 ha. Lu Shuangshuang did take a few photos, but she had no intention of showing off. She just wanted to have fun. Besides, what car did she want to buy? Didn't Xiao Chen have the money to buy it? Does it have anything to do with you? And we are really here to buy a car. Xiao Chen looked at Su Xiaolu strangely. This person was just an ordinary person. If she was a cultivator, Xiao Chen would have slapped her away. However, for an ordinary person like her, Xiao Chen really had no way to deal with her. He really didn't want to lower himself to her level. Ha! You dare to say that you are here to buy a car? Su Xiaolu seemed to have caught Xiao Chen's words and laughed again. She saw Lu Shuangshuang, who was dressed in street stalls, and Xiao Chen, who was not eye-catching. She could tell at first glance that they were not rich. Okay, my dear knows the young master of this car city. What car do you want to buy? For the sake of our old classmates, I will find someone to give you a discount. Really? Lu Shuangshuang was about to leave. Xiao Chen asked in surprise, you can find someone? Of course. Su Xiaolu nodded proudly and then said sarcastically, the problem is, can you buy it? In her opinion, Xiao Chen and Lu Shuangshuang were probably just looking around. It was impossible for them to buy a car. Even if they wanted to buy a car, poor people like them would not buy it after seeing it once. They must have no money, so she didn't mind making a fool of them. Let's go, Lu Shuang. Since your classmate is so kind, let's ask her for help. Xiao Chen said, although we are rich, we should save whenever we can. Being thrifty is a traditional virtue. It's great that someone is saving money for us. Lu Shuang looked at Xiao Chen strangely. This guy didn't seem to care about other people's sarcasm at all. In fact, when Xiao Chen was kicked out of the Xiao family, he had seen a lot of doubts and sarcasm. Moreover, Xiao Chen's mentality was different now. He was a cultivator. How could he lower himself to the level of these people? Sure, what kind of car do you want to buy? Could it be a bicycle? It's probably a bit difficult to get a discount. It's not worth it to find someone, but I can buy it for you. Su Xiaolu laughed. You'll know later. Xiao Chen said faintly and pulled Lu Shuang forward. In order to attack Lu Shuang, Su Xiaolu naturally followed behind. However, her boyfriend was a little hesitant at the moment. Xiaolu, if they really want to buy a car, are we really going to find someone for them? Dekuan, do you think they can buy it? Do they look like people who can afford it? Su Xiaolu curled her lips. Didn't I tell you before? She is Lu Shuang, the person I hated the most in junior high school. She relied on her good grades to lecture me all day long. What's this? Isn't she still not in university? I know, but she looks quite pretty. Dekuan looked at Lu Shuang's back with a perverted look. How could Su Xiaolu not see Dekuan's intention? She pinched him and said, "What's wrong? Are you interested in her?" That's not necessarily the case. This kind of poor girl can only be played around. Dekuan said quickly. How about this? You help me embarrass her today, and I will allow you to play with her. How about that? Su Xiaolu thought about it and said. Really? Okay, then I will help you put on a facade today. Dekuan immediately agreed. In his opinion, if he wanted to hook Lu Shuang, he had to show his strength. Since this girl took selfies in front of those famous cars, she must be a gold digger. When the time comes, she might be easily hooked. Just like that, they followed Xiao Chen and Lu Shuang forward. This time, they didn't continue to look at other cars. Instead, they went directly to the agricultural vehicle sales exhibition hall. They saw a rice transplanter specialty shop and walked in. Su Xiaolu and Dekuan were a little dumbfounded. Why, are we here? Are you here to look at the rice transplanter? Our rice transplanters are the best sold here. What kind do you want to see? Automatic or semi-automatic? There is also manual. A salesman immediately greeted them and introduced enthusiastically. Automatic, the one that sells better, the one that has a higher price-performance ratio, and it's not easy to malfunction. Which one is it? Xiao Chen asked directly. In his opinion, since he was working for someone, he naturally had to buy the most suitable one. Oh, that's this one. This product is powered by a small gasoline engine. It has four-wheel drive and a stepless transmission. It uses a double-row rotary transplanter to achieve high-speed transplanting. The salesman skillfully introduced the best-selling product. How much is this? After listening to the introduction, Lu Shuang was a little tempted. The functions that her uncle mentioned were all covered by this product. The price of this one is 120,000 yuan. If it's delivered to your door, it's guaranteed to be successful, said the salesman. Oh, then this is it. After Xiao Chen finished speaking, he turned to look at Su Xiaolu and said, You look for the person. Ah. Su Xiaolu's eyes widened. What is this? The car that Lu Shuang wants to buy is a rice transplanter? How can I find the person? Isn't this a joke? Dekuan also had a look of amazement. He said with some puzzlement, Don't joke around. The car that you want to buy is this car? Yes. Lu Shuang nodded affirmatively. My uncle asked me to help him buy this car. Su Xiaolu, can you find someone to give you a discount? This. Su Xiaolu's face was filled with black lines. She couldn't help but look at Dekuan. Dekuan looked at Lu Shuangshuang's somewhat expectant gaze and clenched his teeth. Forget it. It's just a favor. It's really not worth it. However, in order to woo Lu Shuangshuang, he could only pretend. He couldn't help but take out his phone and dial a number. Brother Monkey, I'm Dekuan. Kuan Z, do you remember me? Dekuan dialed the phone, and his tone was extremely enthusiastic. Dekuan? Who? Jing Xiaokuan? Asked Brother Monkey on the other side of the phone. No, I'm Yang Shuangkuan. We were junior high school classmates. Dekuan quickly introduced himself. Brother Monkey, did you forget? We met at the junior high school reunion last time. You even gave me your contact information and asked me to look for you. Oh, what's the matter? Asked Brother Monkey. This is the case. I have a friend who wants to buy a car. Didn't you say that the car belongs to you? Do you think you can give me a discount? Dekuan asked carefully. He prayed in his heart. Please don't reject it. If he rejected it, he would lose face. What car? Asked Brother Monkey. That. It's a rice transplanter. Dekuan braced himself and said. F***ck off. Are you making fun of me? When Brother Monkey heard it, he thought that Dekuan was talking nonsense to make a fool of himself. He hung up the phone unhappily. Dekuan was shocked, but he didn't dare to put down the phone directly. He looked at Xiao Chen and Lu Shuangshuang on the other side of the phone and said, Brother Monkey, can you help me ask? I'm not familiar with this area. Okay, then I'll wait for your news. After saying that, Dekuan put away the phone and smiled at Lu Shuangshuang. My buddy said that he's not familiar with rice transplanters. If it's those luxury cars, like Porsche, BMW, or Mercedes-Benz, he can talk to them. Oh. Xiao Chen wanted to laugh. He was a cultivator. He heard the voice on the other side of the phone clearly. This Dekuan was ridiculed, but he still had the face to act cool. He was really a weirdo. However, the voice on the other side of the phone seemed a little familiar. On the other side, Brother Monkey hung up the phone. A man next to him asked, Skinny Monkey, who called you? What do you want? A junior high school classmate of mine wants to buy a car from me. I'll give him a discount. Brother Ming, do you think this person is sick? I asked him what car he wanted, and he told me to buy a rice transplanter. I think he's making fun of me during the Chinese New Year. The next time I see him, I'll kill him. Brother Monkey, who was called Skinny Monkey, said angrily. What is a rice transplanter? The person called Brother Ming obviously hadn't heard of this magical thing. Oh, it's a kind of agricultural vehicle. Skinny Monkey said, it can automatically transplant rice or something. In this car city, there are people who sell this thing? Brother Ming was a little surprised. Yes, it seems so. Skinny Monkey nodded. Bring me to see what it is. I happen to have nothing to do. I haven't seen such a magical thing before. Brother Ming was obviously bored during the Chinese New Year. Today, he brought his little brother, Skinny Monkey, to stroll around his car city. Previously, he maintained his Land Rover. Before he finished the maintenance, he wandered around the exhibition hall. He heard that there was such a fun thing. Of course, he wanted to see it. Alright, let's go and take a look. Skinny Monkey found a staff member to ask where the agricultural vehicle was sold. Then, he ran over with Brother Ming. Finished looking for the person? What do you mean? Why isn't there any news? Xiao Chen asked impatiently. After waiting for a long time, this Dekuan was really patient. Why didn't he get lost? When the salesman heard that these people knew someone and could get a discount, he wasn't anxious. He waited at the side. Who knew if he knew the boss? Wait. There will be news in a while. Dekuan naturally couldn't say that his phone was hung up. He was thinking in his heart. How can I smooth things over? Su Xiaolu didn't know. She looked at Lu Shuangshuang arrogantly and mockingly. You are buying this car? Why don't you buy a Land Rover? Just now, you were taking photos at the Land Rover exhibition hall, right? Chapter 707. I've bought it. Xiaochen said plainly, I don't need to buy any more. Ha ha ha. You've bought it? When Su Xiaolu heard it, she was instantly amused. Lu Shuangshuang, you really look for the right person. Your boyfriend is just like you. He's really good at pretending. Did you buy it? That's right. We came here in the Land Rover. Lu Shuangshuang was really a little annoyed at this moment. This Su Xiaolu was really a snob. If Xiao Chen's identity was revealed, they would be scared to death. However, Lu Shuangshuang wasn't the kind of person who would talk too much. If Xiao Chen didn't say it, she wouldn't say it either. You came in a car? Sure, we can go out together later. How about you let me see your car? Su Xiaolu smiled at Lu Shuangshuang. Then. Lu Shuangshuang just wanted to agree, but she turned her head and looked at Xiao Chen. Can I let her see it? Whatever. Let her see it. It's not bad anyway. Xiao Chen shrugged indifferently. Then you can see it later. Lu Shuangshuang nodded. Sure. Right, De Kuan, how was it? Su Xiaolu didn't bother with these two people. She felt that these two people were too prideful. It was meaningless. Facts speak louder than words. It would be clear when they went out later. Let's wait and see. De Kuan was helpless. He could only hold on. At this time, Skinny Monkey and Brother Ming came nearby. Skinny Monkey was looking around to help Brother Ming find a rice transplanter. His eyes scanned and fixed on a spot not far away. He was shocked. Brother Ming, look over there. What? Brother Ming was taken aback. He looked in the direction that Shou Ho was pointing. It was a shop that specialized in rice transplanters. However, in the next moment, his eyes narrowed and he hurriedly rushed over with Shou Ho following closely behind. De Kuan was in a dilemma. He was anxious. He subconsciously looked around. When he turned around, he saw Skinny Monkey running over, and the legendary young master, Brother Ming. He was instantly ecstatic. Brother Monkey really gave me face. Not only did he come personally, but he also brought the young master, Brother Ming. I am really proud. The next moment, De Kuan hurried to the door with a smile and made a greeting gesture. Brother Monkey, this is Brother Ming. However, the two people who came in didn't stop at all. It was as if they didn't see De Kuan. They went around him and stopped in front of Xiao Chen. Brother Ming said flatteringly, Boss Xiao Chen, you're here. Why didn't you inform me? Little Lu, why are you here? Is this Motor City owned by your family? Xiao Chen suddenly remembered that the voice on De Kuan's phone was Skinny Monkey. At that time, he remembered that this car city was the territory of an aristocratic family. It turned out to be the Lu families. Yeah. Boss Xiao Chen, do you want to buy a car? Lu Zhenming asked with a smile. Xiao Chen was getting more and more ruthless recently. The Lu family was naturally happy. Otherwise, the Lu family was at the bottom of the aristocratic families and was in danger. Usually, they were afraid of being replaced by other families. Now that they had a backer like Xiao Chen, Lu Zhenming had also become a hero. Lu Siwen had some resentment towards Lu Zhenming messing around all day, but he actually became Xiao Chen's underling. Lu Siwen was quite happy. Now, whenever he encountered a strong enemy, he could directly scare them. My son's boss is Xiao Chen. If you're not convinced, he will cripple you when he comes. Then the other party would be convinced. Xiao Chen's reputation in Songning City was still very scary. Oh, I want to buy a car, but I can't afford it. I don't know what his name is. He said he can find someone to give him a discount. We are waiting here. Xiao Chen pointed to Dakuan and said. Ah. Skinny Monkey was suddenly stunned, then he quickly turned to Yang Xuankuan and said, Dakuan, why didn't you say earlier that you are looking for someone to buy a car for Brother Xiao? Really, you really want to buy a rice transplanter? Yes, yes. Dakuan saw that Skinny Monkey finally remembered him, and he was very happy. Just now, when he saw Lu Zhenming and Skinny Monkey go straight to Xiao Chen, his heart suddenly skipped a beat. Did I make a mistake? These two, how could they know Skinny Monkey and Brother Ming? Oh, then why do we still need money? Lu Zhenming waved his hand and said to the salesman, just issue the invoice directly. Keep the invoice to offset the next year's rent. Ah, yes, yes. The salesman nodded quickly. He naturally knew Lu Zhenming. He knew that he was the young master of Motor City. If he said that it could offset the rent, then it would definitely be offset. So, he quickly issued the invoice and said, please leave the delivery address. Lu Shuangshuang didn't expect things to go so smoothly, but she still looked at Xiao Chen with some hesitation. This doesn't cost money? Oh, since little Lu said that I don't need to spend, then I won't spend. Xiao Chen said faintly. He also understood that the Lu family was like a fish in water at the aristocratic family level with the help of his name recently. However, Xiao Chen turned a blind eye to this little brother. After all, little Lu's crucial recording had helped Xiao Chen a lot. Without that recording, Xia Shibin wouldn't have been able to rely on him so easily. It could be said that Lu Zhenming's credit was still very big. Lu Shuangshuang didn't say much. She left the address and then turned to look at Su Xiaolu as if she had vented her anger. Didn't you say that I can't afford a car? This time, I don't have to buy it. Someone gave it to me. This. Su Xiaolu cursed in her heart. Look at you, and you still want to buy a farm car. You must be very poor. I don't know how you got lucky, but this man named Xiao Chen took a fancy to you. As a result, you soared to the sky. However, when he got tired of playing with you, he would dump you. Thinking of this, Su Xiaolu couldn't help but say, isn't it just buying a farm car? If you have the ability, go buy a Land Rover. Weren't you taking a selfie just now? Your boyfriend is so powerful. Why don't you get him to buy it for you? Su Xiaolu rolled her eyes and said such a thing. She didn't know the capabilities of Lu Zhenming and Thin Monkey-like. In her opinion, so what if the other party was the boss of Car City? Dakuan's family also opened a large bathing and entertainment center. If they didn't buy a car, who would deal with them? So even if Xiao Chen knew Lu Zhenming and Thin Monkey-like, it didn't matter. She was so angry that she wanted to trick them. First of all, didn't Lu Zhenming give them a car? Then why don't you give them a Land Rover? Second, even if you don't, Xiao Chen, you are so powerful. Why don't you buy one? Third, if I don't buy it, it will definitely cause a knot in Lu Shuangshuang's heart. At that time, I can successfully provoke her and get this chick for my boyfriend to play with. At that time, I can dump her and humiliate her. However, these few words suddenly made Dakuan angry. He did help Su Xiaolu to act cool in front of Lu Shuangshuang, but since he saw that Lu Zhenming and Thin Monkey-like knew Xiao Chen and even called Xiao Chen boss, he was a little dumbfounded. Wasn't he asking for trouble? Even the young master of Car City called him brother. How could he be so arrogant and think that he couldn't afford a car? Wasn't this a joke? Just as he was thinking about how to remedy it, Thin Monkey-like took the initiative to talk to him. He was planning to smooth things over, but he didn't expect Su Xiaolu to shoot at Lu Shuangshuang again. He was so angry that he was about to explode. He slapped Su Xiaolu's face without thinking. Did you take your medicine today? Why are you talking nonsense? What do you want to buy? Why do you care what people buy? Lu Zhenming thought that Xiao Chen was looking for Dakuan to help him buy a car. He felt that something was wrong. Did Xiao Chen need a discount to buy a car? Even if there was a discount, he didn't need to look for him. How convenient was it for him to look for me? Of course, he didn't think too much before. He just thought about how to please Xiao Chen. Now, after listening to Su Xiaolu's words and watching Yang Xuankuan's performance, he immediately understood what was going on. Lu Zhenming glanced at Thin Monkey-like, and Thin Monkey-like immediately understood. He looked at Dekuan with an unfriendly gaze. What are you doing here? Ugh. We are actually here to buy a car. Dekuan was a little depressed. He lowered his head and said carefully. What car? Asked Thin Monkey-like. It's the Land Rover Aurora that Lu Shuangshuang was looking at. Dekuan didn't dare to hide and answered truthfully. In fact, they were looking at cars previously, and the car that Su Xiaolu was interested in was the one that Lu Shuangshuang took a photo of. Therefore, Su Xiaolu was a little annoyed and mocked Lu Shuangshuang with a sense of superiority. Oh, did you buy it? Asked Thin Monkey-like. Yes. I just paid for it. I will pick up the car later and go to the 4S shop to help me decorate it. Dekuan answered carefully. Oh, that's great. If you give this car to her, she will have it. Thin Monkey-like pointed at Lu Shuangshuang and then looked at Lu Zhenming proudly. Brother Ming, what do you think of my idea? Didn't this Su Xiaolu mock that sister-in-law doesn't have a car? If we give his car to sister-in-law, she will have it, right? Yes, yes, yes. When Lu Zhenming heard it, he nodded continuously. Monkey-like, you have become smarter recently. That's right. Didn't Brother Ming say that the current era is the era of intelligence? We all have to be smarter and learn from Boss Xiao Chen, said Thin Monkey-like. Dekuan's face was a little pale. A Land Rover Aurora is already 700,000 yuan. How can he just give it away? But the main problem is, isn't he going to send it off? Does he dare not to send it off? He heard Lu Zhenming call Lu Shuangshuang's sister-in-law. If he doesn't send it off, then he will be dead. Needless to say. I saw sister-in-law taking a selfie just now. I thought that sister-in-law must like this car. This is the invoice for the payment just now. Just in time to change the name and reopen it. Dekuan laughed a little miserably, but there was no other way. Others didn't know, but he understood what Lu Zhenming meant to his family. His family was a bathing and entertainment center. Usually, they had to rely on Lu Zhenming's Lu family gang. If they offended Lu Zhenming, their business would probably not be able to continue. Thinking about it, a car was nothing. However, Su Xiaolu was dumbfounded. Brother Kuan, didn't you say that the car was bought for me? Why did you give it away? Chapter 708. I think you really don't have any medicine. How can you talk like a cute girl? You are with me every day. Why do you need a car? Don't I have a car? You can take my car. Dekuan glared at Su Xiaolu and said angrily. Su Xiaolu was speechless. But she also saw that the situation was not right. She shrank her head and did not dare to say anything more. The thin monkey-like man grabbed the invoice and said lightly, then it's all right. Go ahead. We will change the name. Yes, yes. Dekuan was depressed, but he did not dare to say anything more. He could only nod. Lu Shuangshuang looked at Su Xiaolu sympathetically and said to Xiao Chen in a low voice, how about, we don't take her car? She is quite pitiful. Xiao Chen frowned. But since Lu Shuangshuang said so, a car was really nothing to Xiao Chen now. It was no longer the time when he and Jean Bebe cheated cars. He was about to speak when Su Xiaolu heard Lu Shuangshuang's words. She suddenly jumped up as if she was crazy. She pointed at Lu Shuangshuang and shouted, Lu Shuangshuang, I don't want you to pretend to sympathize with me, and I don't need you to preach to me. What are you? Isn't it just a powerful man? What's so great about that? You are still poor. Su Xiaolu, that's enough. Dekuan was furious. He kicked Su Xiaolu's butt and made her fall flat on her face. He had just calmed down this matter by using a car to appease Lu Zhenming's anger. Was Su Xiaolu crazy? Did she want his business to close down or something? Forget it. She is crazy. Let's go. Xiao Chen shook his head and gave up the idea of returning the car to her. This crazy woman was really unreasonable. Seeing that Xiao Chen didn't say much, Lu Zhenming naturally wouldn't say anything. He accompanied Xiao Chen to the previous Land Rover 4S shop. With Lu Zhenming here, it was very easy to reissue the invoice. If it was an ordinary customer, it would be troublesome to issue a new invoice. However, Lu Zhenming settled it with a few words. When the manager of the 4S shop saw that the car was Lu Zhenming's, he immediately asked someone to inform the workshop to add more facilities. Lu Shuangshuang felt like she was in a dream. She wanted to buy a cheaper car before, but in the blink of an eye, she got a Land Rover Aurora. You haven't spent any money yet? I don't think it's a good idea for us to do this. Lu Shuangshuang had a bad feeling about it. Why didn't you think it was bad when you asked me for 10,000 yuan? Xiao Xiao didn't know whether to laugh or cry. That was something I sold to you. I didn't ask for it for free. Lu Shuangshuang said. This car was actually given to Lu Zhenming by that Dekuan. Lu Zhenming is my underling. This is between me and him. You don't have to think too much. Xiao Chen explained. Yeah, speaking of it, it was Dekuan who took advantage of it. When the time comes, take care of his entertainment city and let those little punks not cause trouble. How much trouble did he save? Lu Zhenming quickly explained, he gave me a car. He really took advantage of it. I see. After Lu Shuangshuang heard it, she felt at ease. Right, do you have a driver's license? Xiao Chen suddenly thought of an important question. Yes. Lu Shuangshuang's answer was a bit unexpected to Xiao Chen. You have a driver's license? I was thinking about driving a tourist car. Because the telescope business isn't very good, before I met you, I planned to change my career. Lu Shuangshuang said, I heard that many travel companies hire beautiful female drivers for their tourist cars. The salary is not low. Oh, then I'm relieved. Xiao Chen nodded. After the procedures were done, Lu Zhenming naturally didn't want to be a third wheel. He said directly, Boss Xiao Chen, do you drive the car back first, or should I ask them to get the license plate directly? Just do it directly. Xiao Chen didn't want to waste time. Okay. Lu Zhenming responded and asked Skinny Monkey to arrange it. Where should I send the car? If you can't find me, send it directly to the Warriors Market. Lu Shuangshuang should be there during the day. You call her. Xiao Chen gave Lu Shuangshuang's number to Lu Zhenming. After the things here were done, Xiao Chen left Car City with Lu Shuangshuang. Lu Shuangshuang called her uncle and told him that the rice transplanter was bought. He could receive it there. As for the price, Lu Shuangshuang didn't say much. She just said that she had earned some savings in the city over the years. It would be a gift for her uncle. Although her uncle was embarrassed to accept it, Lu Shuangshuang didn't say much. He could only give up and express his gratitude. Where are we going? Lu Shuangshuang got in the car. She was a little excited. I can't believe I have become a car owner. To the hotel? Xiao Chen asked. Why? Didn't you say you won't go today? Lu Shuangshuang glanced at Xiao Chen. Then forget it, Xiao Chen said with a smile. Then let's go, Lu Shuangshuang said. Hee hee. Xiao Chen smiled. Lu Shuangshuang was a very emotional person. She wouldn't avoid some topics because of shyness and deliberately avoid something. She also missed Xiao Chen. They hadn't seen each other for a long time. Since the last time they parted at the Warriors Guild, they hadn't been intimate. Lu Shuangshuang actually missed it too. The night passed uneventfully. The next morning, Xiao Chen returned to the Xiao family. However, he saw Xiao Zhao's black face and red eyes. It was a little scary. Xiao Chen was shocked. Xiao Xiao, what happened to you? Xiao Chen asked quickly. Brother, why didn't you come back last night? I waited for you all night and only fell asleep in the morning. I only slept for 2 hours. Xiao Xiao looked at Xiao Chen with resentment. Where did you go? I went to see a friend. Xiao Chen was a little embarrassed. He didn't expect Xiao Xiao to really wait for him to go back at night. This gave him a headache. Before he came back, Xiao Xiao's life was quite good. She didn't have trouble sleeping. Why did she have this problem when he came back? Xiao Xiao looked at Xiao Chen up and down. A girl? Yes. Xiao Chen didn't deny it. I knew it. A trace of helplessness flashed across Xiao Xiao's face. Brother, how many do you have? Aren't you afraid of dying from exhaustion? I won't die from exhaustion. Your brother is also someone who can fight against a general. I won't die from exhaustion. Xiao Chen smiled bitterly. Xiao Xiao, don't you have a gathering with your classmates tonight? You should sleep. Oh, then I'll go to sleep. You're not allowed to go out. Wait for me to wake up. Xiao Xiao nodded. She didn't force Xiao Chen to accompany her during the day. Qing Menjing and the Qing family all came to the Quishan sect. They were arranged to stay in a courtyard, which was actually a place for ordinary outer sect disciples to cultivate. Although Yao Baoang was an outstanding person among the younger generation, his position in the sect wasn't very high. Little Yao had died outside, becoming a disgrace to the sect. Naturally, no one wanted to stand up for him. When his body was brought back to the sect, it was just a hasty burial. As for Yao Baoang, he also began to endure hardships to test his courage. As Yao Baoang's fiancé, Qing Menjing naturally had the right to cultivate the sect's mental cultivation method. Early the next morning, Qing Zhongfan brought her to the sutra depository and let her choose a suitable mental cultivation method. This was also the sect's rule. After bringing her over, Qing Zhongfan didn't care anymore. From his point of view, since Qing Menjing had come to the Quishan sect, she was like a fish in a bowl. There was no way she could get out. The so-called 3-year agreement was all nonsense. Qing Tianqiu and Qing Zhongming sighed. They didn't expect that the Qing family, who had been powerful in Songning City for many years, would be gone overnight. From now on, there was no longer a Qing family in Songning City. Qing Tianqiu regretted signing the contract with the Quishan sect. However, it was useless to deny it. Qing Zhongfan was so scheming that he even deceived him. I'm the one who harmed the Xiao family and Zhongqian. I should have seen through Qing Zhongfan's wild ambition long ago. Qing Tianqiu was a little helpless. Zhongming, it seems that you're still the best. Father, it's already happened. It's useless for us to regret it. Xiao Chen said that he would definitely come to pick up Menjing. We'll just wait for him here. Qing Zhongming suddenly laughed. Actually, it's quite tiring to be the first person in Songning City. It's better to live a peaceful life here. That's true. Qing Tianqiu nodded. At noon, Qing Menjing came back with a mental cultivation method incantation. She just needed to register it at the entrance of the sutra depository. Anyway, these mental cultivation methods were copied versions for the sect's disciples to borrow at any time. Grandpa, Father, I'm going to practice. Please tell Mother that I won't come out for dinner. Just send it to my room. Since Qing Menjing was already here, she decided not to waste these 3 years. She had to seize every minute and every second to work hard on her cultivation. As for the mental cultivation method incantation, it was indeed as Yi Xiaoya said. There was indeed a manual that required a virgin to practice. However, for some reason, it was thrown into a corner with a layer of dust on it. Qing Menjing searched for the whole morning. When she was about to give up, she found this secret manual. After thinking about it, it was probably because there were almost no female disciples in the Quishan sect. Even if there were, they would be the family members of male disciples. They were definitely not virgin, so this mental cultivation method was casually thrown into an inconspicuous corner. Qing Menjing was lucky. She didn't find it, so she was a little discouraged and wanted to find something to vent her anger on. Therefore, she kicked the ground and shouted, "I'm so angry." Then, a secret manual flew out. Although she didn't know if she could practice it, Qing Menjing planned to give it a try. Anyway, she only found this manual, so whether she could practice it or not was not a big deal. Therefore, Qing Menjing didn't care. She returned to her room and planned to practice in seclusion for a while. Even if she couldn't succeed, she could avoid Yao Boang's harassment. When he came to find her, she could use the excuse of seclusion to send him away. Chapter 709. Sure enough, as Qing Menjing expected, Yao Baoang came that night. He couldn't do anything to Qing Menjing during the day because there were many disciples in the sect. Although Qing Menjing was his fiancée, everyone knew that they had a 3-year agreement. If he was impatient and tried to do something to her, it would seem that he was unreliable if someone saw Qing Menjing's resistance. It would affect the senior management's impression of him, and it would not be worth it. Therefore, he chose to visit at night. Father-in-law, Grandpa Qing, are you used to living here? Yao Baoang saw Qing Zhongming and Qing Tianqiu, so he greeted them with a smile. Don't worry about us, young Master Yao. We are fine here. Young Master Yao is busy with your cultivation, so you don't have to worry about us in the future. Qing Tianqiu snorted coldly and said lightly. The Qing family was under house arrest, and this situation was completely caused by the kid in front of him. Seeing him, how could Qing Tianqiu have a good expression? No matter how busy I am, I can't forget the Qing family. This is also my home. Yao Baoang laughed, then turned his head and asked, by the way, where is Menjing? She went to choose a cultivation method. I'm here to see if she succeeded and if there are any problems in her cultivation. I can give her some pointers. There's no need for that. My daughter is cultivating in seclusion. She has chosen a cultivation method and is trying it. At this time, young Master Yao should know that she can't be disturbed. Qing Zhongming said, I believe young Master Yao can understand. She has chosen? She has already started to cultivate? Really? Yao Baoang was a little shocked. She didn't have any foundation before, did she? Can she cultivate by herself? Won't she be possessed by the devil? No matter what, our Qing family is an ancient martial arts family in the secular world. Menjing has heard a lot since she was young, so she has some understanding of cultivation. She has also trained her body, so it's not surprising that she directly embarked on the path of devil cultivation, right? Qing Tianqiu said lightly, I believe that if Menjing is an idiot, Child Yao won't like her, right? This. Of course. Yao Baoang was a little depressed. He couldn't refute Qing Tianqiu's words. He suddenly felt that his IQ was a little low. With just a few words, the other party had cut off the possibility of him meeting Qing Menjing. However, Xiao Yao was dead, and he had no one to discuss it with. Although this matter was facilitated by Qing Zhongfan, Yao Baoang also knew that Qing Zhongfan had ulterior motives in this matter, which was nothing more than forcing Xiao Qin. Now that the goal had been achieved, Qing Zhongfan didn't care much about whether he could settle Qing Menjing in advance, so it was impossible to discuss countermeasures with him. It's so late, Child Yao, please go back. Qing Zhongming made a gesture of invitation. When Menjing comes out, I will inform you. This. Okay, then I will go back first. Yao Baoang had no choice. The more he was in the sect, the more restrained he was. He couldn't force it. It was a big crime to break into the courtyard of his fellow disciples. Even if Qing Menjing was his fiancée, he couldn't do it. After all, there was also the issue of the face of the outer martial arts guild. They had said that it would be 3 years. Couldn't he wait? At that time, the sect would definitely punish him severely. Although he wouldn't be sentenced to death, his ambition was in the top management of the sect, so he couldn't make mistakes in such a small matter. Thinking of this, Yao Baoang could only admit defeat. He turned around and quickly left the courtyard of the Qing family. Phew. Qing Zhongming breathed a sigh of relief and wiped the sweat on his forehead. He said helplessly, Father, this is only the first day. I'm afraid there will be trouble in the future. Yeah, there's no way. Qing Tianqiu said, however, we will try our best to block it. This is the only thing we can do. Qing Menjing was in the back room. In fact, she didn't enter the state of cultivation. A new mental cultivation method's secret book, if she wanted to cultivate it, she had to think about it. She heard Yao Boang's voice outside and listened carefully. Until he left, she was relieved. Qing Menjing fell on the bed and suddenly touched the bracelet on her wrist. However, the first thing she thought of was not her grandmother, but Xiao Qin. It was not that Qing Menjing resented her grandmother and Qing Tiannu for secretly giving birth to Qing Zhongfan. After all, this was a matter of the older generation. Her grandfather was a very fickle person. After marrying her grandmother, he hooked up with another woman soon after, who was also the biological mother of her uncle Qing Zhongqian. At that time, he neglected her grandmother. In that case, it was not incomprehensible for Qing Tiannu to take advantage of the situation. However, although Qing Menjing understood it, she felt that she definitely couldn't do it. Even when Xiao Qin pursued Shen Jingxian in front of her before, she never thought of betraying Xiao Qin or anything. Now, she wouldn't think about it. At that time, this bracelet was lost and was found by Xiao Qin. At that time, she thought that he wanted to take advantage of her. Now thinking about it, it was infinitely sweet. Qing Menjing kind of missed the time when she was with Xiao Qin. Perhaps, that was the happiest period of her life. She didn't know if this counted as her falling in love with Xiao Qin. In fact, in her bones, she had already determined that she was Xiao Qin's fiancé. So whether she liked him or not, it was not too important to her. Now, in retrospect, Qing Menjing felt that she really fell in love with Xiao Qin. She sighed faintly. Maybe, but what could she do? It could be seen that Xiao Qin was more of a responsibility to her. Otherwise, why did so many things happen with Shen Jingxian, Tang Tang, and Yi Xiaoya, but nothing happened with her? Not to mention that there was no chance, in a villa, even if he used force, he would succeed. Qing Menjing thought that since Xiao Qin was so powerful, it should be easy and pleasant for him to push her down, right? But he didn't do that. Maybe he really didn't like her. Alas. Humph, this bastard, don't forget me in 3 years. What should I do? Forget it then, forget it, this miss doesn't care about it. Humph. Qing Menjing immediately thought. So, in the contradiction, Miss Qing fell asleep in a daze. When Xiao Xiao woke up again, it was already afternoon. She dressed up and went to Xiao Qin excitedly. Brother, do you think I'm beautiful today? Well, you're very beautiful. Xiao Qin was discussing the future direction of the Xiao family with Xiao Yuanshan and Xiao Hai. He was going to leave, so he had to arrange things at home. Am I sexy? Xiao Xiao turned around and asked again. Xiao Qin was speechless. Xiao Yuanshan and Xiao Hai were still at the side, and Xiao Xiao actually dared to ask this? Sure enough, Xiao Hai's expression changed slightly. He wanted to say something, but he didn't. Xiao Yuanshan squinted his eyes and glanced at Xiao Xiao, but he didn't say anything. Xiao Xiao also realized that she asked a bit too much, especially in front of her father and grandfather. She immediately stuck out her tongue. I was just joking. Brother, when are we leaving? You decide. What time is your class reunion? Xiao Qin asked. Then it's about time, let's go. Xiao Xiao said, Brother, you should dress up too. Don't embarrass me. I'm a man, why do I need to dress up? Wait for me to change. Xiao Qin stood up helplessly and walked towards his villa. Xiao Qin left. Xiao Hai's gaze sharpened. He looked at Xiao Xiao, who was also leaving, and said, Xiao Xiao, come here. Ah. What is it, Dad? Xiao Xiao turned around and looked at Xiao Hai strangely. Is there something? Sit down, I have something to ask you. Xiao Hai's expression was very serious. Xiao Xiao didn't dare to joke around anymore. She quickly and obediently sat on the seat that Xiao Qin was sitting on. Dad. Xiao Xiao looked at her serious father and asked carefully. Although you and Xiao Qin are brother and sister, don't go overboard with some things. Don't let other families see you as a joke. Xiao Hai hinted. What do you mean? Xiao Xiao blinked her big watery eyes. She didn't seem to understand Xiao Hai's meaning. What joke? We didn't bully anyone. You and Xiao Chen have been sleeping together these few days? Xiao Hai didn't answer, but changed the topic to ask. Yes, I'm afraid of the sound of firecrackers. Xiao Xiao nodded. You two are already so big. You should avoid it. Otherwise, how are you going to find in-laws in the future? Xiao Hai hinted. In-laws? Why would I find in-laws? I'm not looking for one. I'm already hurt enough with the Qing family's matter. Dad, the Xiao family doesn't need to rely on anyone anymore. We don't need to look at anyone's face. Brother is enough. Are you still going to let me marry into other families? Although Xiao Xiao knew that her father didn't mean it that way, she still changed the topic. This. Xiao Hai's expression changed. He felt a little guilty. Hearing Xiao Xiao say this, he felt a little embarrassed. He felt that Xiao Xiao might be against finding a boyfriend. Then, you have to find a boy that you like in the future, right? Yes, I've liked my brother since I was young. Xiao Xiao nodded seriously. Xiao Hai's expression changed. He wanted to say something, but he was interrupted by Xiao Yuanshan. Xiao Yuanshan asked indifferently, Xiao Xiao, do you know something? Know what? What do I know? Xiao Xiao was stunned. She looked at Xiao Yuanshan. Grandpa, what are you talking about? You and Xiao Chen are brother and sister? Xiao Yuanshan's words were probably not understood by anyone. This question was simply nonsense. Yes? Xiao Xiao nodded and looked at her grandfather. It's fine. Xiao Yuanshan waved his hand and said, Go. Have fun at the gathering tonight. Xiao Chen will be leaving after Chinese New Year. You guys won't have much time together. Oh, okay. Grandpa, Dad, I'll go prepare. Xiao Xiao nodded and quickly ran out. Looking at Xiao Zhao's back, Xiao Hai frowned. Dad, just now you. Chapter 710. Nothing. Xiao Yuanshan shook his head and said, I feel that Xiao Xiao seems to know something. Yeah, I have this feeling too. Xiao Hai also had a weird expression. But I'm not sure. Actually, it's nothing. It's the same whether she knows or doesn't know. This matter is nothing at all. We have too much time to worry about it. With the current status of the Xiao family, who dares to say anything? Who can say anything? Xiao Yuanshan smiled faintly. Moreover, it's really nothing. That's true. I'm worrying for nothing. Xiao Hai nodded. Indeed, our Xiao family doesn't need to marry anyone else. We don't need to worry too much about Xiao Zhao's matter. Actually, it's better this way. Xiao Yuanshan smiled. At 4:00 in the evening, Xiao Chen drove the well-dressed Xiao Xiao to the location of the class reunion, Immortal Resort. Why is it this place again? Why are all the class reunions here? Could it be that this is a place for professional class reunions? However, Xiao Chen usually didn't pay attention to it. He didn't know that this Immortal Resort was indeed such a place. It specialized in hosting some companies' annual meetings, parties, as well as class reunions, corporate fraternities, etc. As long as one searched online for the best class reunions in Songning City, they would find this place. Therefore, the organizers of those class reunions also looked at other people's comments before choosing this place. However, Xiao Chen was naturally familiar with this place. He didn't need navigation and directly drove there. Brother, it's not right. Why are you so familiar with this place? I'm still using my phone to check here, and you know where to go? Xiao Xiao stared at Xiao Chen with a weird look. Tell me, have you accompanied other people to class reunions? The reason why Xiao Xiao said other people was that Xiao Chen was basically not interested in class reunions. If she asked him to go alone, he definitely wouldn't go. Ugh. I accompanied one, the one who was with me yesterday. Xiaochen didn't hide it. It was also at that time that we met. Then, you got together that night? Xiao frowned. Brother, why do you still want this kind of woman? She's definitely not a good girl. How can she sleep with someone on the first day of meeting? That's too embarrassing. That's not it. I just pretended to be her boyfriend. It's just a freak combination of factors that made it real, so I made her, ahem. Xiaochen could only blame it on himself. In fact, it was mostly on himself. So it's your responsibility. No wonder. Xiao didn't say anything after listening. Then you really have to take responsibility. It's really a headache. How many sisters will I have in the future? You should call her sister-in-law, not sister. Xiaochen glared at her. I'm not married yet. Of course, I'm calling you sister. Xiao said as if it was a matter of course. All right. Xiaochen reluctantly accepted this reason. By the way, you can play during the class reunion later. I'll just close my eyes in the room. That won't do. I've already told them that I'll bring my boyfriend. What's the matter if you don't show up? Others will think that you don't like me. Xiao immediately objected. What? You told others that I'm your boyfriend? Xiaochen's eyes widened. Yeah, is there a problem? Said Xiao. Of course there is. When did I become your boyfriend? Xiaochen was confused. Xiao, can you stop joking? You can pretend to be someone else's boyfriend, but you can't pretend to be mine. I'm already 16 years old. I still don't have a boyfriend. How shameful is that? Xiao snorted. So what if you're 16 years old? You're still a kid. Xiaochen glared at her. Your main task now is to study hard. Tisk, aren't you ashamed to say this? When you were 16, you didn't pursue Shinjingxian? Xiao snorted with a look of contempt. I've already said it. If you want to embarrass me, you can expose me in public. At most, I'll drop out of school. Forget it. I'm really scared of you. Xiaochen was suddenly depressed. I can pretend that there's no problem, but the key is that Qi Zhigao knows me. Isn't he your classmate? I've already talked to him. I'll pretend that I don't know you. Don't act too familiar with him at that time. Xiao exhorted. Okay. Xiaochen could only agree. What else do you need to pay attention to? Tell me all at once. Oh, the rest is to adapt to the situation. We can play together at that time. Xiao said, you just have to cooperate. Be intimate with me. Don't let others see it. Oh, okay. Xiaochen nodded. It was fine to be intimate. They were already close enough at home. Xiaochen was already used to it. The car drove to the Immortal Resort. Because Xiao Zhao's second high school was also an aristocratic school, there were many children from rich families. Therefore, there were already many cars parked in front of the apartment building where Xiao mentioned the gathering. Obviously, they were all here to attend the reunion. Because Xiaochen transferred to second high school not long ago, and Xiao was very cold to Xiaochen, the two of them didn't have much interaction at all. Only Qi Zhigao had seen Xiaochen before. He really didn't know the other students. As soon as she got out of the car, a girl walked over with a boy and waved at Xiao. Xiao, you're here? Let me see your mysterious boyfriend. Sun Nanxua, were you waiting for me? Xiao replied with a smile. Let me introduce you. This is my boyfriend, Xiao Chang. He has the same surname as you. Sun Nanxue was a little surprised. She looked up and down at Xiaochen who had parked the car. He's quite handsome and quite sturdy. How is it? Isn't he strong in that aspect? Otherwise, why would he be called Xiao Chang? I can't tell you about that. Xiao Xiao glared at Sun Nanxue and said, "Why don't you tell me how often you and Brother Chen do it?" "It's a secret." Sun Nanshue's face turned red. Xiao Chen was a little speechless. The topic of conversation between female friends was really fierce. He looked at the girl beside Sun Nanxue. She also had an awkward expression. When she saw Xiao Chen looking over, she nodded at him in understanding. "My name is Xiao Chang. It's our first time meeting. I hope you can take care of me," Xiao Chen said politely. "Xiao Xiao, where did you find him? When you have a child, his surname will also be Xiao. Your Xiao family will have a descendant. Your father will be very happy, right?" Sun Nanxue laughed. Yes, that's for sure. I specifically found him this way," Xiao Xiao said proudly without the slightest bit of awkwardness. "No wonder you didn't like Qi Zhigao back then. It turns out that his surname is Qi." Sun Nanxue also laughed. "Let's go in. Who's in charge of the registration today?" Xiao Xiao asked. "Who else could it be? It's that little bitch, Qiao Yuling. She thinks that she's hooked up with Qi Zhigao. She even thinks that she's a member of the Qiao family. She's been jumping around lately. She's involved in everything. It's not enough for her to show off." Sun Nanxue curled her lips. Obviously, her relationship with Qiao Yuling wasn't very good. Qiao Yuling? Xiao Chen was slightly stunned. Isn't that the person Xiao Xiao met on New Year's Eve? She's actually in the same class as Xiao Xiao. At that time, Xiao Xiao acted as if she didn't know her. It turned out that there was a conflict between them. "By the way, Xiao Chen, be careful when you see Qi Zhigao later. He's Xiao Zhao's pursuer. I'm afraid that he'll cause trouble for you." Sun Nanxue reminded Xiao Chen. "Well, it's nothing." Xiao Chen shook his head. Qi Zhigao probably wouldn't cause trouble. As for Qiao Yuling, it was hard to say. However, Xiao Chen was now very famous. In Songning City, there weren't many forces that dared to go against him. In this way, the possibility of the Qiao family going against him was very small. As they spoke, the four of them walked into the lobby of the resort's apartment building. Sure enough, they saw Qiao Yuling dressed up gorgeously. She was sitting at the registration desk, talking and laughing with a boy. However, that boy wasn't Qi Zhigao, which surprised Xiao Chen. Looking at Qiao Yuling flirting with him, Xiao Chen couldn't help but frown. Why is this woman like this? She's taking advantage of Qi Zhigao's absence to get close to another boy. Even if there's nothing going on between them, it's not good, right? One of the boy's hands was already touching Qiao Yuling's thigh. The other hand was placed on Qiao Yuling's shoulder. It was very close to her chest. Isn't the relationship between Qi Zhigao and Qiao Yuling very good? Xiao Chen asked Xiao Xiao secretly. I don't know. On the surface, it's still okay. I don't pay attention to them. Besides, it's the holidays. They don't go to school often. Who knows? Xiao Xiao shook her head, indicating that she didn't know. The four of them walked over to register. When Qiao Yuling saw Xiao Xiao and Xiao Chen, she was slightly surprised, but she didn't say much. She registered them properly and assigned them a room. At this moment, Qi Zhigao walked into the lobby. When he looked up and saw Xiao Chen, he was delighted. He was about to greet him, but he suddenly remembered that Xiao Xiao had told him to act like he didn't know him, so he didn't greet him. However, when he looked again, he saw Qiao Yuling was so intimate with a boy. They were even hugging each other. His face suddenly turned ugly, and he strode over. Qiao Yuling, what are you doing? Asked Qi Zhigao. I'm chatting with my boyfriend. Qiao Yuling didn't care at all. Zhigao, are you jealous? Qi Zhigao took a deep breath. Although he already knew that this boy named Wu Yoho was Qiao Yuling's deskmate, and they were good friends, it was hard to guarantee that such an intimate action wouldn't make him think of something. However, he couldn't be angry, so he said lightly, it's nothing. I just want to see if you're tired. Why don't we go out and do some shopping? Okay. Chow Yuling nodded, then she said to Wu Yoha who was beside her, Little Hehe, I'll leave it to you. Zhigao and I will go out. Honey, I'll reward you tonight. Chapter 711. Go ahead. Wu Yoha smiled and sat in Chow Yuling's previous seat. However, this scene made Xiaochen feel a little awkward. Intuition told Xiaochen that the relationship between Chow Yuling and Wu Yoha was definitely not as simple as it seemed on the surface. Cultivators had always been very sensitive, but since he did not catch anything, Xiaochen could not say much, let alone provoke the relationship between Qi Zhigao and Chow Yuling. Qi Zhigao and Chow Yuling walked out, and Qi Zhigao could not help but remind her, Chow Yuling, you should be more careful next time. You and Wu Yoha are so close. What will I think? Aya, so what if he's my best friend? We've been desk mates since elementary school. We've always been. There's nothing we can't talk about. Chow Yuliang smiled and said, Right, I'm going to the bathroom. Okay. Qi Zhigao nodded. Chow Yuling entered the washroom and busied herself for a long time. Then she let out a long sigh of relief and cursed, This Wu Yoha, he made me feel awkward. Damn it, I must get even with him tonight. After cursing, she took out her phone and dialed a number, saying, Brother, guess who I saw? It's Xiaochen. He actually accompanied Xiao Xiao to the class reunion and said that he's her boyfriend. Do you think there's something going on between them? Can we use this to attack Xiaochen? What does that have to do with you? Chow Yuliang received the call and heard Chow Yuling's bullshit. He immediately became angry, mind your own business. You're already married to the Qi family. Stop it. Restrain your debauchery. Don't let others use it against you. If you break off the engagement, the Chow family will lose face. As for Xiaochen, he can do whatever he wants. Didn't you see that the Quishan faction has left? What kind of personality do I have? It's all because of you. Chow Yuling snorted coldly. She was a little unhappy. She had long been treated as a commodity by Chow Yuliang and given to Qing Mingxiang to play with. Now he still had the cheek to criticize her. Don't talk nonsense. Be careful outside. Chow Yuliang warned, your main purpose now is to control Qi Zhigao. It's best to find a way to let the Chow family swallow the Qi family after he becomes the young master of the Qi family. In this way, our Chow family can develop. The Qing family is no longer reliable. Qing Mingxiang ran away by himself. Now we have to find our own way out. Oh. Chow Yuling was a little dissatisfied in her heart, but she still responded. She agreed and turned to leave the bathroom. Seeing Qi Zhigao, she happily took his arm. Zhigao, let's go. Well, okay. Seeing Chow Yuling who was very enthusiastic to him, Qi Zhigao felt a little better. After all, compared with Xiao Zhao's indifference, Chow Yuling could be said to be very obedient and especially docile. Therefore, when Chow Yuling occasionally played with some boys, Qi Zhigao would turn a blind eye. After registering, Xiaochen and Xiao Xiao went upstairs to find a room to settle down. Son Nanxue and brother Chen followed behind. Brother Chen's name was Chen Shufeng. He was son Nanshue's boyfriend. Although their families were not as prominent as the Xiao family, they were also considered as a business family in Songning City. Of course, there were not many people here who knew about Xiao Zhao's family. Son Nanxue didn't know either. She only thought that Xiao Zhao's family was very rich. She didn't know that it was the Xiao family in Songning City. Of course, the Xiao family had been very low-key before. Only Xiao Chen was a high-profile member. Hey! Xiao Xiao, why are you in such a hurry to go back to your room? Did you have an interest on the way here and want to settle it? Son Nanxue looked at Xiao Xiao mischievously. I think you two are the ones who are in a hurry, right? Following behind us sneakily. Xiao Xiao curled her lips and said, I have been living with my brother every day for the past few days. Your brother? Sun Nanxue was stunned. Ah, it's Xiao Chang. His surname is also Xiao, and he is older than me. I call him brother. Xiao Xiao realized that she had let the cat out of the bag, so she quickly covered up the lie. I say, Xiao Xiao, your hobby is quite unique. You actually call him brother. Are you imagining that he is your brother, but you aren't together? Hee hee. Sun Nanxue looked at Xiao Xiao strangely. So what if I am? Xiao Xiao said indifferently, anyway, we aren't biological siblings. Let's just add some spice. You don't even understand this. Alright, I'm afraid of you. Sun Nanxue was a little helpless. We will go in and settle down. I will look for you later. Let's go eat dinner together. I just informed you. Okay, no problem. I'm just afraid that you will take too long. Xiao Xiao teased. Their rooms were next to each other. After they finished talking, they entered the room. Xiao Chen was a little dumbfounded. Why are girls so unscrupulous when talking to each other nowadays? After entering the room, he couldn't help but smile bitterly. Xiao Xiao, do you usually talk to that Sun Nanxue like this? Yeah, you don't understand the world of girls. It's so tough that you can't imagine it. Xiao Xiao disagreed. What do you think? Maybe Shen Jingxian and Xing Menjing usually talk about you together. It's just that you don't know. All right. Xiao Chen was speechless. He could only say, let's settle down and go down. Aren't we going to do something? It's already done over there. Xiao Xiao pointed to the next room. Xiao Chen listened carefully. Indeed, the soundproofing effect of this room was really not good. This time, the party was booked in an old apartment building. It should be quite old. Hearing this sound, Xiao Chen suddenly felt a little embarrassed. Let's ignore them. Let's watch TV for a while. Xiao Chen said and was about to turn on the TV. No way. They must also be paying attention to us. If we don't do something, Sun Nanxue will laugh at us later. Xiao Xiao said. Then what should we do? Xiao Chen was speechless. What do you think? Xiao Xiao blinked her eyes. Stop joking. Xiao Chen glared at her and said angrily, you won't really let me do it, right? Hee hee, you go and push the bed, then I'll call. Xiao Xiao smiled mischievously. Xiao Chen suddenly breathed a sigh of relief and said in a depressed tone, your class reunion is really troublesome. Is it worth it? I have already told Sun Nanxue. If I don't do anything, she will definitely think that it's either you or me who has a problem. Xiao Xiao said in a serious manner, I don't want her to always joke about this kind of thing in the future, so this is the only way. Okay. Xiao Chen walked to the bed and began to push the bed. Suddenly, there was a loud, crunch sound in the room, and Xiao Xiao moaned in cooperation. This moan shocked Xiao Chen. Why is this sound so real? It's just a little exaggerated. Seeing that Xiao Chen stopped, Xiao Xiao suddenly shouted, don't stop, then. She glared at Xiao Chen and pointed to the bed. Xiao Chen could only continue to shake the wooden bed, but Xiao Zhao's voice made Xiao Chen's heart move. He couldn't help but feel a little short of breath. Xiao Chen quickly blocked these unrealistic thoughts from his mind. He tried not to listen to Xiao Zhao's moans and shook the bed desperately. Finally, the two on the opposite side stopped. Xiao Chen glanced at Xiao Xiao and said, can we stop too? This really isn't something a human should do. No, let's do it for a while. You have to win against them and show that you can last longer than Brother Chen. Xiao Xiao lowered her voice and shouted again. Xiao Chen was at his wit's end, so he could only cooperate and continue shaking the bed. Xiao Chen shook the bed until it was almost falling apart. Only then did he say, is this finally enough? Okay, I'll let you go. Xiao Xiao was also tired of shouting. She quickly found a bottle of mineral water and drank it. Then she complained, gosh, it turns out that this kind of thing is so tiring. I haven't done it yet, and I'm tired just shouting for a while. You're still talking. I'm shaking to death. Xiaochen shook his arm and said, Xiao Xiao, you really put me in a difficult position. Aya, who asked you to be my brother? I can only ask you to cooperate. If I find a random person to pretend to be my boyfriend, when I call him, he can't help but push me down. Where can I go to reason with him? Xiao Xiao waved her hand. It's just like what you did. Fake becomes real. Well, then you should look for me. When Xiaochen heard that Xiao Xiao intended to look for someone randomly, he was naturally worried. He would rather be tired himself. Isn't it just shaking the bed? It's not a big deal. After a while, Xiao Xiao's cell phone rang. It was a Weishi message from Sun Nanxue. I say, Xiao Xiao, you two are too fierce. It's earth-shattering. I can only hear the clanging sound. How strong is the impact? You didn't die from the impact, right? Humph, don't talk about me. Aren't you two the same? We didn't want to, but we heard that you were over there, so. Xiao Xiao replied, not to be outdone. Okay. Are you two done? Let's go down to eat. Sun Nanxue said. Okay, then let's go down. Xiao Xiao said, and then told Xiaochen, later, you help me walk, as if I'm exhausted because of you. Xiaochen glared at her, but he still helped Xiao Xiao out of the room. Then, he saw Sun Nanxue and Brother Chen walking out of the room. This name of yours is indeed very strong. Sun Nanxue said with admiration. But only Xiao Xiao can bear it. If it were me, I would have died a long time ago. Brother Chen is still gentle. Sun Nanshue's words made Brother Chen proud. Although he felt that he wasn't as fierce as Xiao Chen, his woman's praise was still very useful. Xiao Chen glanced at Sun Nanxue. This woman wasn't simple. She didn't forget to protect her boyfriend's face at all times. It seemed that she cared a lot about this boyfriend arranged by her family. However, Xiao Chen was also very relieved that this kind of person was friends with Xiao Xiao. At least she was a smart person and wouldn't do stupid things. Oh, I'm so tired. Brother, carry me on your back. Xiao Xiao said to Xiao Chen coquettishly. You're already an adult, why are you still carrying me? Xiao Chen said. I can't walk because of you. What should I do? My legs tremble when I walk, Xiao Xiao said and hung on Xiao Chen's body. Chapter 7:12. I really don't know what to do with you. Xiao Chen couldn't explain that he didn't do it at all. He could only carry Xiao Xiao on his back and walk downstairs. Anyway, he had carried her on his back more than once. From childhood to adulthood, he often carried Xiao Xiao on his back. But now that Xiao Xiao had grown up, the softness of her chest pressed against Xiao Chen's back, which made him feel a little uncomfortable. When they went downstairs, most of the students in the class had already arrived. Seeing Xiao Chen carrying Xiao Xiao downstairs, many people were a little surprised. They didn't expect that Xiao Xiao, who had always been cold and elegant in the class, would be so intimate with a boy. In fact, Xiao Xiao was also a goddess in the class. Qi Zhigao wasn't the only pursuer. It was just that Qi Zhigao was richer and had a better family background. But now, Qi Zhigao already had Qiao Yuling, so he naturally wouldn't pursue Xiao Xiao. These boys thought that they had a chance, but Xiao Xiao was already taken by someone else. They couldn't help but feel a little disappointed. Among them, there was also someone who wasn't convinced. It was the sports commissary of Xiao Zhao's class. He also had a good family background. Compared to Qi Zhigao, he was also the young master of an aristocratic family. Compared to Qi Zhigao, he was better because he was the heir of his family. The reason why he didn't launch an attack on Xiao Xiao before was that his position as the heir of his family hadn't been confirmed. His family was a Zhenwu aristocratic family, which was one level higher than ordinary aristocratic families. His family wouldn't allow him to marry a woman from an ordinary family. But now it was different. He had become the heir of the young master, so he had more autonomy. He didn't need a marriage to take advantage of the position. Even if he had to marry for benefits in the future, Xiao Xiao could also be the second wife. And this time, he was one of the supporters of this class reunion. He also funded part of the expenses. His purpose was to get closer to Xiao Xiao, but he didn't expect that it would be like this. He walked towards Xiao Xiao with a gloomy face. He looked at Xiao Chen and asked coldly, "Xiao Xiao, who is this person?" "Gao Bisi, what does this have to do with you?" Xiao Xiao was a little unhappy. "Are you here to check my household registration?" "Of course not." Gao Bisi's face changed. He frowned and said, "Xiao Xiao, I'm just afraid that you will be cheated. At your age, it's easy to be cheated. This person seems to be from the underworld, right? There are a lot of liars out there." "He is my brother," Xiao Xiao said coldly. "Ah." Gao Bisi was dumbfounded. "Your brother?" "Brother, ignore him. Let's go." Xiao Xiao patted Xiao Chen's shoulder and signaled him to continue carrying her forward. Xiao Chen carried Xiao Xiao to the dining room. Gao Bisi's expression was a bit strange. "This person is Xiao Xiao's brother? Is this for real? Then wouldn't he have offended his brother-in-law?" However, he still felt that something was wrong. He turned around to look at son Nanxue and brother Chen and said, "Brother Chen, we're from the same courtyard. Tell me, what's going on?" When Chengu heard this, he looked at son Nanxue awkwardly. Although Gao Bisi lived in the same neighborhood as him, and his villa wasn't far away, it wasn't appropriate for him to say such things. "Gao Bisi, that's Xiao Zhao's boyfriend. Don't think too much about it. She calls him Big Brother as a form of intimacy. It's a way to make things more interesting. Now that they're sleeping together, you won't stand a chance." Son Nanxue reminded after thinking for a while. "What?" When Gao Bisi heard this, his face suddenly became a bit distorted. "Sleeping together? Is this for real? Son Nanxue, did you see it or did they say it themselves? They live next door. We heard the earth-shattering sound just now." Brother Chen patted Gao Bisi's shoulder sympathetically and then sighed. "You have no chance. Forget it. Don't think so much. Have fun. I'm so angry. How can Xiao Xiao do this?" Gao Bisi clenched his fist. He was so angry that his body was trembling. He stared at the backs of Xiao Chen and Xiao Xiao fiercely. The woman he wanted was gone before he even laid his hands on her. He couldn't accept it. He was the heir of Zhenwu's Gao family. What he wanted must be his. When he was angry, he suddenly felt someone pat him from behind. Gao Bisi was shocked. He turned around and found that it was Chao Yuling. He naturally knew who Chao Yuling was. She was a woman from the Chao family of Songning. When the Chao family wanted to do business in the Gao family's territory, the two of them had met and spent the night together. Although Chao Yuling's appearance was ordinary, her skills were top-notch. Therefore, Gao Bisi remembered it clearly. He didn't expect that she would be his classmate after he transferred to Songning City. He just didn't have the chance to kiss her again. When he saw Chao Yuling, Gao Bisi felt hot. "Yuling, what's the matter? You didn't accompany Qi Zhigao? Brother Gao, do you want to pursue Xiao Xiao?" Chao Yuling asked. That's right. It's not a secret. Why do you ask?" Gao Bisi was a little confused. "I can help you secretly." Chao Yuling was actually very jealous of Xiao Xiao. Although Chao Yuliang didn't allow her to do anything to Xiao Xiao, she could incite others to do it. There was no other reason. She just didn't like Xiao Xiao. "Oh? What do you mean?" Gao Bisi looked at Chao Yuling with great interest. Xiao Zhao's boyfriend is a playboy. He cares a lot about his reputation. You find a way to make a bet with him. The bet is Xiao Xiao. But remember, don't fight with him. Chao Yuling reminded. She had seen Xiao Chen's information because of her relationship with Chao Yuliang. Although she knew that Xiao Chen's current strength was not bad, in her opinion, Xiao Chen's previous playboy was also true. He was a person who cared a lot about his reputation, but he didn't achieve anything. As long as she started in this aspect, she would definitely be able to deal with him. Why? Isn't it good to fight? Gao Bisi was a little puzzled. He said, "You know, I'm a disciple of the Gao family of Zhenwu. I'm a martial artist. Isn't it easy to deal with this guy? You don't believe me? There's a reason why I told you not to use force. You can play some intelligent games with him. His IQ is not good, but he still has brute force." Chao Yuling reminded. Through this period of observation, Chao Yuling felt that Xiao Chen did not have any intelligence at all. He completely relied on his absolute strength to do things. It was a blatant suppression. Therefore, she was determined not to compete with him in terms of strength. This. Okay. Gao Bisi thought about it and nodded. Then tell me, what should I compete with him in? For example, playing cards, which is a business strategy, or bowling, which is a technical strategy. There's no way to use force. Chao Yuling suggested. I really don't understand. I'm a martial artist and have an absolute advantage. Why do I have to compete with these? Gao Bisi was a little inexplicable. Aya, he must know that you're a martial artist. If you compete with these, do you think he can accept it? Even if he's a playboy, he's not a fool. Chao Yuling said helplessly. You're right. Gao Bisi nodded after listening. Xiao Xiao must have told Xiao Chang about his identity. You're indeed the brains of the Chao family. Hee, I'm just a so-so. Chao Yuling smiled sweetly. Then I'll leave first. Wait, Yuling. Gao Bisi looked at Chao Yuling's flirtatious expression as she turned around. Is there anything else? Chao Yuling asked. That. Do you have time tonight? The desire in Gao Bisi's eyes exposed his thoughts. However, Chao Yuling saw it and didn't mind. She just said lightly, I'll check the time. Gao Bisi nodded happily. Then I'll go and deal with Xiao Chang first. Looking at Gao Bisi's back as he left, Chao Yuling sneered. She hated Xiao Xiao, and at the same time, she hated Xiao Chen. Back then, in order to destroy Xiao Chen's impression in front of Qing Menjing, Chao Yuliang had asked Chao Yuling to seduce Xiao Chen. However, Xiao Chen didn't take the bait. This was a great humiliation for Chao Yuling. There was no man that she, Chao Yuling, couldn't seduce. What about Qi Zhigao? Didn't he still fall under her skirt in the end? Therefore, she held a grudge against Xiao Chen and was very angry. Inside the cafeteria, a few big tables were already filled. There were more than 40 people in Xiao Zhao's class, scattered across 5 or 6 tables. Each table had about 7 or 8 people. Xiao Xiao and Sun Nanxue arrived relatively late, so they sat at the last table with no one. Not long after they sat down, Gao Bisi came over. He glanced at Xiao Chen and directly sat beside him. He said, a straightforward person doesn't beat around the bush. You're not Xiao Zhao's brother. You're her boyfriend, right? What's the matter? Xiao Chen glanced at the person. At this time, he took a closer look. This person was actually a martial artist. This made Xiao Chen a little surprised, but he was still very indifferent. You're not worthy of Xiao Xiao. Gao Bisi said directly. He listened to Chao Yuling's suggestion and planned to anger Xiao Chen first, then make a bet with Xiao Chen. Oh, then you mean that you're worthy of her? Xiao Chen asked disapprovingly. He wasn't Xiao Zhao's boyfriend, so he wasn't angry. Moreover, his sister had a suitor, so there was nothing to be angry about. Yes. Gao Bisi nodded proudly and said, it seems that you still have a little bit of self-awareness. You know that only I, Gao Bisi, am worthy of her. Pfft, your ears aren't good, right? Xiao Chen was a little speechless. I'm asking a rhetorical question, or is your IQ low? Don't say that it's useless. Do you dare to compete with me? Gao Bisi slammed the table and asked coldly. Compete? Compete for what? Xiao Chen asked. Brother, don't bother with him. He's sick. Xiao Xiao was a little impatient. Gao Bisi, are you crazy? Everyone is eating here. Why are you slamming the table? Xiao Chen, if you're a man, let's have a drinking competition. Whoever drinks more will be worthy of Xiao Xiao. How about it? Gao Bisi shouted. Chapter 713. Oh, I don't have money. Who's going to pay if I drink too much? Xiao Chen asked. I'll pay. Gao Bisi said disdainfully, you don't have money, yet you want to be with Xiao Xiao. Aren't you ashamed? You can drink by yourself. I'm not interested in competing with you. Xiao Chen waved his hand, I'm going to eat. As he spoke, Xiao Chen picked up a drumstick on the table and started eating. He didn't put Gao Bisi in his eyes at all. Xiao Cheng, are you afraid? When Gao Bisi saw that Xiao Chen was ignoring him, anger flashed in his eyes. It was as if he was about to explode. He was the heir of a dignified martial arts aristocratic family and a high-level warrior. It was easy for him to deal with a mortal in the secular world. However, Chao Yuling said that he couldn't use force and could only attack from other aspects. He could only endure it for now. It's not that I don't dare, but I don't have the habit of using women as stakes. Xiao Chen said, whether she's worthy or not isn't determined by how much she drinks. According to what you said, will Xiao Xiao marry a drunkard in the future? This. Gao Bisi was a little speechless, but he still said, what I mean is that men should be bold. That's fine. Let's compete. Let's not talk about whether we're worthy or not. Let's see who's more capable. Oh, that's more like it. Xiao Chen nodded and said, okay, let's compete. Brother. Xiao Xiao was shocked and immediately pulled Xiao Chen. She didn't expect Xiao Chen to really agree. Isn't there something wrong with him? Why should he compete with Gao Bisi in drinking? Don't worry about me. This is a time to show off. Since there's no stakes, we must compete. Xiao Chen shook off Xiao Zhao's arm and pointed at Gao Bisi. Tell me, how do we compete? Gao Bisi was overjoyed when he saw that Xiao Chen was angered by him. He was even happier when he saw that Xiao Chen had shaken off Xiao Xiao. Xiao Chen was indeed easily provoked. He had provoked him with just a few words. At that time, when Xiao Chen drank too much, he would make a fool of himself. He. It's very simple, whoever drinks the most. Gao Bisi said. Oh, okay. How much can you drink? Xiao Chen asked. 50 bottles of this beer is not a problem. Gao Bisi threatened. Really? Xiao Chen was a little surprised. This was a large bottle of beer, not the small bottle that he and Song Huawu drank. Moreover, this wine had some alcohol content. If he drank 50 bottles, wouldn't he die? Of course. Gao Bisi was very refreshed when he saw Xiao Chen's surprise, and said proudly. Okay, then you drink first, and then I'll drink. Xiao Chen nodded and said. Ah. Gao Bisi was stunned. Aren't we drinking together? Don't drink together. It's going to be a mess. If I can't help but steal 2 bottles from you and say that I drank it, it won't be good, right? Xiao Chen shrugged. Why? Are you bragging to me just now? You can't drink so much. Whether I can drink it or not, you'll know when you see it. Gao Bisi suddenly said angrily. He waved to the waiter not far away and said, Waiter, give me 50 bottles of beer. Yes, sir. The waiter responded and went to fetch the beer. The other students looked at this side curiously, not knowing what was going on. Only Chao Yuling's eyes flashed with a smile. It seems that he wants to make a fool of Xiao Chen. She didn't know why, but there was a different kind of pleasure in Chao Yuling's heart when she saw Xiao Chen and Xiao Xiao being defeated. After a while, the beer was served. Gao Bisi directly asked the waiter to open it. He picked it up and drank it. Although 50 bottles was a bit much, it wasn't like he hadn't drunk it before. He was confident that he could finish all of them. Xiao Chen was gorging himself at the side, while Gao Bisi was pouring bottle after bottle into his mouth. Every time he finished a bottle, he would look at Xiao Chen proudly. His expression was as if he was saying, "Little guy, are you scared silly? You're really heroic." Xiao Chen finished a chicken drumstick. He slapped Gao Bisi's shoulder with his oily hands, leaving a big oil print. However, Gao Bisi drank too much and didn't notice it at all. He thought that Xiao Chen was admiring him. Ha 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 ha, of course. It's up to you in a while. Gao Bisi gulped down another bottle of beer. Finally, after more than 40 bottles of beer, Gao Bisi was a little confused. He said to Xiao Chen with his tongue hanging out, "Xiao Cheng, look, can you do it? You haven't finished drinking yet." Xiao Chen said. At this moment, many students who had finished eating gathered around. When they heard that Gao Bisi was competing with Xiao Zhao's boyfriend in drinking, they all came to watch the show. Since they had nothing to do, this could be considered a highlight of the class reunion. Heh, there's only 4 bottles, oh, no, 5 bottles left. Let's see if I can finish it. Gao Bisi couldn't tell the difference between 4 and 5. He trembled as he looked at the beer bottle on the table and picked up another bottle. Finally, Gao Bisi drank all 50 bottles of beer. Even though he was a martial artist, his stomach was as big as a toad's. However, his eyes were filled with pride. How about it, Xiao Cheng? It's your turn. I've drunk all 50 bottles. If you can't drink all 50 bottles, then you lose. Oh, okay. Xiao Chen drew a napkin and wiped his mouth. Then, he looked at the beer bottle in front of him and said, "Sigh, I suddenly remembered that I'm allergic to alcohol. I can't drink. I admit defeat." Oh, When Gao Bisi heard Xiao Chen's words, his originally red face suddenly turned green. What did you say? You can't drink? Then you let me drink? Yeah, didn't you prove that you can drink 50 bottles? You proved that you are very bold. I can't, so I lost. Is there anything wrong with that? Xiao Chen said seriously, "Ask everyone if this is the case." Ha 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 ha, he. Immediately, Xiao Chen's words attracted a burst of laughter from the surrounding students. Of course, they weren't laughing at Xiao Chen for losing because he couldn't drink. Instead, they were laughing at Gao Bisi for being a fool. He drank 50 bottles first and almost became a dead dog. In the end, Gao Bisi directly admitted defeat without drinking a single bottle. Xiao couldn't help but laugh. She was worried that Xiao Chen wouldn't be able to hold his liquor. However, she didn't expect Xiao Chen to be so evil. He had tricked Gao Bisi to death. Damn, you tricked me. Gao Bisi was immediately enraged. His face became a little distorted. He shouted with a ferocious expression, "Xiao Cheng, if you have the guts, drink 50 bottles too. I've already admitted defeat. Why would I still drink? Are you crazy?" Xiao Chen shrugged and said, "You've already won. I also admit that you're powerful. What else do you want?" This. Gao Bisi was a little confused after hearing what Xiao Chen said. Yeah, I've already admitted defeat. What else do you want? Isn't my ultimate goal to make Xiao Chen admit defeat? However, why am I not happy at all even though I've won? A wave of alcohol rushed to his brain, and Gao Bisi almost fainted. He was too angry. Chao Yuling, who was at the side, was also unbearably angry. I told you to use your IQ, use your IQ. Why are you so stupid? What IQ does drinking in a competition count for? Why are these martial arts practitioners so stupid? Gao Bisi turned his head and saw the sarcasm on Chao Yuling's face from the corner of his eyes. He was immediately annoyed. Chao Yuling, accompany me later. I need to vent. As soon as Gao Bisi said this, the students present were dumbfounded. What's going on? Qiao Yuling was Qi Zhigao's girlfriend. Although Gao Bisi didn't explicitly say what he wanted Qiao Yuling to accompany him for, the sentence, vent, had already exposed a lot of information. Therefore, everyone looked at Qiao Yuling strangely. Qi Zhigao, who was at the side, also had a gloomy expression. He stared at Qiao Yuling in disbelief. Gao Bisi, what nonsense are you talking about? You must have drunk too much. Qiao Yuling was furious. How could Gao Bisi say these words in public? Did he drink too much? Ugh. But thinking about it, he really drank too much. What's wrong? Do you want to have a chastity when you're a whore? Gao Bisi didn't notice anything wrong at all. He continued, it's not like we haven't played before. Why are you pretending? Zhigao, this person drank too much. Ignore him. Let's go. Qiao Yuling was so angry that she turned around and pulled Qi Zhigao out. Her heart was full of resentment. She finally felt like she had shot herself in the foot. If I knew this would happen, I wouldn't have urged Gao Bisi. Now, Qi Zhigao was obviously suspicious. Xiao Chen's mouth flashed a sneer. It seems that this Gao Bisi and Qiao Yuling are very familiar. However, this had nothing to do with Xiao Chen. He stood up and said to Xiao Xiao, Xiao Xiao, let's go back to the room and rest for a while. Xiao Xiao nodded. She was also very happy. This annoying Gao Bisi finally suffered a setback. Even Qiao Yuling lost face. Everyone, pay attention. There is a group activity in the evening. Now is the free time after dinner. Everyone can go back to their rooms and rest first. You can also play around nearby. When the time comes, I will send a message to the class's Weixin group to inform everyone about the next step of the activity. The person who spoke was Xiao Zhao's class monitor. He was a quiet-looking boy. The students responded one after another. There was nothing to see, so they dispersed. Xiao Chen, Xiao Xiao, Sun Nanxue, and Brother Chen went upstairs together. While walking, Sun Nanxue said, Xiao Chang, you're really bad. You tricked Gao Bisi to death, and at the same time, indirectly tricked Qiao Yuling. AI? Right, Sun Nanxue, do you think there's something going on between Qiao Yuling and Gao Bisi? Xiao Xiao lowered her voice and asked mysteriously. I think there's something going on. Actually, I've long heard that there's something going on between Qiao Yuling and Wu Youhe. When they were in physical education class, they were caught being intimate in the bathroom. It's just that Qi Zhigao didn't know about it. Sun Nanxue said mysteriously, but it's hard to say. Who knows if it's true or not without seeing it. Chapter 7:14. Yeah, I don't care about them. I thought my brother was going to drink with him. It scared me. Xiao Xiao patted her chest. I say, Xiao Xiao, I realize that you are really a brother complex. Not only did you find a boyfriend with the same surname as you, but you also call him brother. It's so intimate. Hee hee. Sun Nanxue suddenly said, Brother Chen, why don't I call you brother in the future? That. We don't have the same surname. Brother Chen was a little embarrassed. Are we cousins? That's fine. Sun Nanxue nodded and said, then let's try it later. Up to you. Xiao Xiao shrugged and returned to the room with Xiao Chen. Brother, why don't we do it again? Xiao Xiao asked. Do what again? Xiao Chen was slightly surprised. Just now. Xiao Xiao was a little embarrassed when she said this. She wasn't completely open in front of Xiao Chen, especially when she called him that just now. She didn't know if Xiao Chen would think too much. Again? Sure enough, after Xiao Chen rejected, he suddenly asked, Xiao Xiao, have you had this kind of experience before? What experience? Xiao Xiao was stunned and immediately understood, how can I have this kind of experience? Then why did you call him so realistically? Xiao Chen looked at Xiao Xiao from head to toe. Aya, who hasn't seen Ivy's movies a few times these days? Xiao Xiao blushed and stomped her feet. Don't tell me you haven't seen it. Forget it. Xiao Chen was embarrassed. He didn't expect a girl to watch it. Then, are we still coming? Xiao Xiao asked. No, look at how the neighbor didn't come. If we come again, they will think that we are full of energy and have nowhere to vent it. Xiao Chen said. You think too much. Xiao Xiao saw that Xiao Chen didn't cooperate and was a little unhappy. Why am I overthinking? If it weren't for you overthinking, we wouldn't have to do such a laborious and unrewarding thing. Xiao Chen was a little speechless. What? From what you're saying, it seems like you still want to work hard to please me? Xiao Xiao blinked her eyes and looked at Xiao Chen. Are you serious? Stop joking. Xiao Chen pulled a long face and said, Xiao Xiao, if you continue to be so frivolous, don't ask me to accompany you to these activities next time. Wasn't it just a joke? As if I could really do anything. Xiao Xiao rolled her eyes at Xiao Chen. If I'm not serious, I would have gotten together with you when we were young. I wouldn't have waited until now. Really, you don't trust your sister at all. I'm just saying it casually. Xiao Chen didn't expect Xiao Zhao's reaction to be so big. After resting in the room for a while, Sun Nanxue sent a message asking if Xiao Xiao was free. The four of them went out for a walk. Xiao Chen didn't mind, but it was rare for Xiao Xiao to come out to play. Naturally, she didn't want to spend the time in the room, so she happily agreed. When the four of them went downstairs, they happened to see Qi Zhigao quarreling with Chao Yuling. In the distance, the four of them stopped their footsteps. Chao Yuling, tell me clearly today. What the hell is going on? Qi Zhigao drank a little today, and he was a little angry. Say what? Didn't I say it already? I have nothing to do with him. My family introduced him to me before. We met on a blind date. What's the big deal? Chao Yuling frowned and said, do you have to yell like this? Then why did he say that today? Qi Zhigao obviously didn't believe it. You men like to talk big when you drink too much. What's the big deal? Chao Yuling spread her hands and said, if you drink too much, you might also brag a little. Say that you have slept with Xiao Xiao. Do I still have to believe it? Chao Yuling's words were very vicious. Qi Zhigao was a little annoyed after listening to it. Don't drag other people into the things between us. You are not allowed to talk about Xiao Xiao. Humph, I knew it. You still like Xiao Xiao in your heart when you are with me. Only you are allowed to like other people. There's nothing going on here. Do you believe a few jokes from other people? Chao Yuling snorted coldly. Forget it. Qi Zhigao sighed and said, let's go, Chao Yuling. I don't care what you did in the past. I hope you can be more self-respecting in the future. After all, you represent the face of my Qi family. You and Wu Yoha shouldn't make too much trouble. Okay, I know. Narrow-minded. Chao Yuling stuck to Qi Zhigao's body. The two of them went downstairs affectionately. Xiao Chen frowned. He also felt that there was something wrong with Chao Yuling, but it was not good to tell Qi Zhigao. He and Qi Zhigao could not be considered close friends. At most, they were on good terms. This was especially so after he gave up on pursuing Xiao Xiao, so he rarely interacted with Xiao Chen. The four of them came to the chess and card room on the first floor. Many students were playing here. Some were playing cards, some were playing mahjong, and some were playing billiards. What surprised Xiao Chen was that he saw Gao Bisi here. This guy had drunk so much just now, but at the moment, he was talking and laughing like a normal person. He stood next to the billiards table with a cigarette in his mouth and was playing billiards with others. This guy is so good at drinking? He sobered up after a while? Xiao Chen was a little surprised. He is a warrior from a foreign family. Brother, don't fight with him, Xiao Xiao reminded him. Previously, Gao Bisi was at the side, so Xiao Xiao couldn't remind him. Later, when Gao Bisi got drunk, Xiao Xiao thought that he had gone back to sleep. She didn't expect him to appear again, so she quickly reminded him. Oh. Xiao Chen responded faintly. Once upon a time, the family was a high and mighty existence in Xiao Chen's eyes. Even the Qing family was unreachable. However, now, Xiao Chen didn't care about them at all. Xiao Chen had already offended the Quishan sect. Why would he be afraid of a family like the family? Xiao Chang, you're good. Gao Bisi also saw Xiao Chen and made a shooting gesture. He said with a gloomy face, "Come and play billiards." Do you dare? You still want to play? Xiao Chen smiled faintly. That's right. Do you dare to bet something this time? Gao Bisi waved his hand, and the guy who played with him immediately put the cue aside. He helped Gao Bisi take out the billiards balls that had fallen into the bag and rearranged them. You won last time. Why do you want to win again? Xiao Chen shrugged. Then you play first. No, I have to bet something this time. Gao Bisi didn't fall for it. He pointed the cue at Xiao Chen. If you are a man, you will agree. This is a battle between men. If I win, you will leave Xiao Xiao. If you win, I will leave Xiao Xiao. Do you have to be so funny? If you win, you will leave Xiao Xiao. Are you together with Xiao Xiao? Xiao Chen looked at Gao Bisi with disdain. What do you say then? Gao Bisi wasn't annoyed. As long as Xiao Chen agreed, the outcome was set. He used to be a professional billiards player, and his hobby was to play billiards. If you lose, you will immediately disappear from my sight. Leave this resort and transfer from Xiao Zhao's class. Xiao Chen said. Since this person always harassed Xiao Xiao, it was necessary for him to help Xiao Xiao solve this problem. You. Gao Bisi was stunned. He didn't expect Xiao Chen to make such a request. Do you dare or not? If you are a man, then bet. If you are not, just forget what I said. Xiao Chen imitated Gao Bisi's tone and shouted. Why wouldn't I dare? Okay, but if you lose, you will leave Xiao Xiao and never contact Xiao Xiao again. How about it? Gao Bisi thought about it and said. Okay. Xiao Chen nodded directly. You say it. What do you want to play? Just the normal free fancy billiards. Gao Bisi said, let's play rock paper scissors to decide who will go first. Oh, no need to guess. You go first. I'm afraid that if I win in rock paper scissors, you will have nothing to do with it. Xiao Chen said faintly. N? Gao Bisi was stunned, but then he remembered that Xiao Chen said that he wanted to admit defeat, so he thought that Xiao Chen was just pretending to be bad *SS. He suddenly smiled and said, okay, then I won't be polite. This time, he learned to be smart. Whether Xiao Chen said anything or not, he didn't care. Winning was the key. Moreover, this time, even if he played alone and Xiao Chen admitted defeat, he would still win. Before the gambling, he lost because he didn't agree on the bet. Otherwise, if the 50 bottles of wine were drunk, even if Xiao Chen didn't drink a bottle, he would still be the winner. Gao Bisi took a deep breath and prepared to start. His posture was very professional. He hit the cue ball elegantly. He was about to reap the joy of victory, but what he didn't expect was that the cue ball suddenly jumped over the billiard balls on the table and fell into the empty space behind. It rolled a few times and stopped. This. Gao Bisi was a little dumbfounded. What is this situation? How can I hit such a jump ball? It's not possible, right? He turned the cue in disbelief. He wanted to see if the cue split. You scared me. Your skills are just a so-so. I thought I was going to lose. Xiao Chen went up with the cue and hit it. All the balls on the table scattered. It seemed like there was no pattern to the shot, but he didn't expect that the ball would fall into the pocket. According to the rules, Xiao Chen continued, but Xiao Chen said, it's your turn, right? No matter how shameless Gao Bisi was, he couldn't go directly. There were still so many people watching. At this moment, he was also sure that Xiao Chen didn't know how to play billiard at all. He could only say with a black face, "It's still yours." "Oh." Xiao Chen nodded and hit another ball, but this time, no ball fell into the pocket. Finally, it was Gao Bisi's turn. Gao Bisi took a deep breath. He completely blamed the previous mistake because he was too anxious. At this moment, he calmed down and aimed before hitting again. However, what made Gao Bisi dumbfounded again was that the cue ball flew out with a whoosh and flew out of the billiard table. "What's going on with this?" Xiao Chen deliberately pretended not to know and asked, "Is this a very bad *SS play?" Chapter 7:15. "Okay, Brother Gao." Zhou Aliang nodded and went to get the cue stick. "I get it now. Only a martial artist can unleash a continuous stream of inner energy. You added inner energy to the ball, which is why the ball keeps hitting the ground. You're cheating." Gao Bisi roared. "Watch me this time. I'll get it in one shot." Gao Bisi changed his cue stick and felt his confidence soar. He rubbed his palms together and stood beside the billiard table. With a bang, the ball flew out. Xiao Chen's side was still the same. He got a ball in one shot. The next shot didn't even hit the ball. The cue ball rolled on the table twice. It seemed that his level was very average. Qiao Yuling was wearing a low-cut dress. As a result, she was hit directly. It was so painful that her tears almost came out. She couldn't help but exclaim, "Ah." Therefore, although it looked like he was bumping around randomly, he was full of momentum. Very soon, all the balls were knocked into the bag. Xiao Chen won. "Brother Wang, there is a solo cultivator who is acting bad *SS in front of us. Can you help me deal with him? It's best to catch him and lock him up for a while." Gao Bisi lowered his voice and said, "Don't worry. There will definitely be benefits after this." "Oh, it's my turn again." Xiao Chen shrugged. "I say, Gao Bisi, your level is only like this. You still dare to compete with me? How much better can you be than a beginner like me? I think you're not as good as me." Xiao Chen was a little speechless. This Gao Bisi seemed to be endless. What if I'm from a martial arts sect? However, there was no other way. No matter how much he doubted it, Qiao Yuling was now his fiancée. He could only carry her and quickly run out of the entertainment room. "Ah." After Xiao Xiao heard it, her face turned red. She was a little shy. "Okay, holy **T. Gao Bisi was about to go mad with anger. What was going on today? The ball seemed to be possessed by a demon. No matter how he played, he couldn't feel it. What he didn't know was that the ball wasn't possessed by a demon, but by Xiao Chen's primordial qi. Xiao Chen could use sword kinesis flight with ease, much less a small billiard ball. The ball flew out of the billiard table like a cannonball and flew towards the door of the recreation room. At this time, Qiao Yuling and Qi Zhigao walked in. Coincidentally, the billiard ball hit Qiao Yuling's cleavage with a dong, and was sandwiched between them. In the immortal resort near Songning City. "Do you think you can come and investigate?" Gao Bisi said carefully. He knew that Brother Wang was the deputy leader of Team B of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau. Naturally, he had the authority to investigate some cultivators, especially those rogue cultivators without any background. "Oh, where are you?" Brother Wang nodded to show that he understood. You are a martial arts master?" Gao Bisi suddenly thought of a possibility. He pointed at Xiao Chen and shouted in disbelief. "How is this possible?" Gao Bisi looked at this scene in disbelief. How could anyone hit such a powerful ball? Xiao Chen casually hit another ball, and it landed in the pocket. However, when he hit another ball, he hit the cue ball into the pocket. Don't look for excuses. Zhou Aliang, find another cue ball. Gao Bisi snorted. This result made Xiao Chen extremely shocked. He didn't mean it. He just let Gao Bisi's ball fly out. Who knew it would hit Chao Yuling and even break her? What else can I do? Of course, I want to be intimate with you, said Xiao Chen. Oh, a rogue cultivator. Gao Bisi breathed a sigh of relief. If Xiao Chen was from a sect, he would have to think about whether he could afford to provoke him. Now that he was a rogue cultivator, it didn't matter, so he said, how about this, let's compete in bowling. Oh, okay. Xiao Chen didn't expose him. Anyway, he was just playing with him. If he won in one go, it would be boring. After hesitating for a while, Gao Bisi decided to take action. He found a corner where there was no one, took out his phone and dialed a number. I think before the game, you'd better check on Chao Yuling's condition. Xiao Chen couldn't be bothered to speak to this kind of shameless person. If it wasn't for the class reunion, he would have sent him flying with a kick. After speaking, he said to Xiao, let's go upstairs. Qi Zhigao's face was even uglier. Chao Yuling's chest was actually fake. Every time Chao Yuling made out with him, she turned off the light. He didn't pay much attention. But now he saw that Chao Yuling, an unmarried young girl, actually had this kind of surgery. Gao Bisi's eyes were burning, but he really didn't dare to do anything to Xiao Chen. Although he believed that Xiao Chen was a rogue cultivator without a sect, he was strong. He could only look at Xiao Chen with a gloomy face as he left. Don't talk big. This cue doesn't fit me today. I'm going to change it. Gao Bisi's face was gloomy. He said to the boy who had just played with him, Zhou Aliang, help me change the cue. Everyone knew that bowling required skill, but pure strength was not enough. Xiao Chen could imbue a billiard ball with his internal energy to make it spin continuously, but it was not suitable for bowling. No matter how much strength one had, no matter how continuous, the bowling ball could only be hit once. If it missed, it could not be hit again. Therefore, Gao Bisi came up with this method of competition in a flash of brilliance. In terms of strength, he should be a martial master, but not too high. He should be at the first level of martial master. Gao Bisi said, as for his background, he is the boyfriend of my classmate, and I like that classmate. So, Brother Wang, you know. Bang! This time, the cue ball didn't fly, but it didn't fall into the pocket either. The trajectory of the billiard ball was completely different from what he had expected. It would be strange if it could fall into the pocket. He had suspected that there was something between Gao Bisi and Chao Yuling before. Seeing this scene, he couldn't help but be angrier. So what? Xiao Chen didn't deny it, but asked back. However, Xiao Chen was extremely annoyed with Chao Yuling. If he could let Qi Zhigao see the real face of this woman, it would not be in vain. Don't brag. If you were from the martial arts world, how could you like Xiao? Gao Bisi didn't believe it. Don't try to make up an identity to suppress me. It's useless. Just tell me if you want to compete or not. A rogue cultivator, Xiao Chen said. Gao Bisi, did you do it on purpose? You want to flirt with Chao Yuling? Qi Zhigao was a little annoyed. What did Gao Bisi mean? Did he want to hit the billiard ball on Chao Yuling's chest? Wasn't this a blatant flirtation? Then let's go. Xiao Chen hugged Xiao Zhao's arm and walked to the door of the recreation room with her in his arms. Nothing is impossible. Just have more strength. Xiao Chen said faintly, okay, I won. You should get lost according to the agreement. A rogue cultivator? What strength? What's her background? After Brother Wang heard it, he didn't immediately agree, but asked. Zhou Aliang quickly brought a cue ball. Xiao Chen was too lazy to waste time with him. He hit it hard. The cue ball was like it was injected with chicken blood. It began to hit back and forth on the table, as if its power would never stop. Gao Bisi's face twitched. According to the rules, dropping the cue ball into the pocket was the same as sending the cue ball flying. It was a penalty of 1 stroke, and the other side could play 2 strokes. However, since he had already stated the rules, it could not be changed. He could only play resentfully. Ahem, this is my mistake. It's your turn. Gao Bisi's face turned red. In fact, according to the normal rules, Xiaochun could play 2 strokes in a row, but this rule wasn't stated. So, he said, if you hit the ball away, you will play. Now, let's set this rule. Go upstairs. Why? Xiao Xiao was watching excitedly. She was also very excited to see Xiaochun show his prowess. In the end, Xiaochun suddenly wanted to go upstairs. Oh, then you hit it away just now. It's my turn. Xiaochun was about to hit it, but he saw that the cue ball was gone. Right, you hit the ball on Chao Yuling before. It seems that you didn't take it out. Mistake, mistake. Gao Bisi's face darkened. After he sobered up, he knew that he had gone overboard just now. He shouldn't have said those words to Chao Yuling. Some things were tacitly understood. If he said it, it would break the rules of the aristocratic families. It was fine to play together, but it shouldn't affect their marriage. Moreover, Xiao Xiao was still there. What would Xiao Xiao think of him? You. Gao Bisi really wanted to beat up Xiaochun, but he didn't dare. If Xiaochun was a martial arts master, wouldn't he be courting death? Thinking of this, Gao Bisi could only say resentfully, this doesn't count. Let's compete in other games. I didn't know you were a martial arts master before, but even if you were, you. Wait, which sect are you from? They wouldn't dare to say anything even if they found a random reason to lock them up and investigate them. Especially Group B, which was directly in charge of martial arts masters. Even some martial arts aristocratic families had to listen to them, let alone a rogue cultivator. Young Master Gao, why are you looking for me? A plain voice came from the other side of the phone. Although it was polite, it wasn't respectful. Are you really stupid or pretending to be stupid? How did I cheat? Didn't you ask me to compete with you just to play? Why do you care how I played? Besides, you can do it too. Xiaochun said disdainfully. In fact, his original intention of looking for Xiao Xiao was to take her as a concubine for fun. But now it had evolved into anger. If he didn't take Xiao Xiao down, how could he have face? Especially when he was slapped in the face by a rogue cultivator. It's broken, it's broken. Chao Yuling screamed. It turned out that her chest was plastic, but it was broken by the billiard ball. Fillers were flowing out. Gao Bisi, don't you want to go and take a look? She's broken because of you. Xiaochun reminded him. Humph, don't say those useless things. Let's continue. I will definitely beat you today. Gao Bisi ignored Chao Yuling. He was a disciple of a martial arts aristocratic family. An ordinary martial arts aristocratic family was nothing in his eyes. He believed that the Chao family would be happy to compensate them after the event. Chapter 716. Oh, I happen to be on a mission nearby. You wait for me. I will call you when I arrive. This brother Wang was naturally Wang Chake, the deputy leader of the Supernatural Investigation Bureau's Team B. He didn't mind helping Gao Bisi. Team B had more dealings with those real martial arts families, and Gao Bisi happened to be the heir of the Gao family, so they usually had a lot of interactions. Wang Chake didn't mind helping him out. Okay, thank you, Brother Wang. Gao Bisi was overjoyed. As long as I catch Xiaochun and give him a few warnings, wouldn't I have a chance? Thinking of this, Gao Bisi was also a lot happier. Qi Zhigao sent Chao Yuling to the hospital. After opening the examination, he found out that it was only the padding inside the dress that was broken and leaking. Chao Yuling herself had no problem. Although Chao Yuling had undergone breast enlargement surgery, it wasn't something that could be broken with just one hit. She was in pain from being hit, and the water was leaking at that time. She couldn't tell what was leaking, so she made a big mistake. Now she felt better, and it wasn't so painful. Qi Zhigao could only return to the resort with Chao Yuling. On the way, Qi Zhigao couldn't help but ask, Chao Yuling, why did you do this kind of surgery? I was just envious of those beauties with breast enlargement, so I did a surgery. It's not a big deal, right? It doesn't affect anything. Qiao Yuling said, didn't you like it in bed before? Qi Zhigao was embarrassed, and he didn't ask anymore, but he increasingly felt that there was something wrong with Qiao Yuling. He even laughed at Qi Ziyuan for finding *tch, and he seemed to be the same. The two returned to the resort. Although the classmates came up to express their condolences, Qi Zhigao obviously felt that everyone's eyes were a little weird. After a few words, Qi Zhigao didn't have the mood to continue playing here, so he said, let's go up. Oh. Qiao Yuling nodded. She was also a little annoyed with Gao Bisi. In her opinion, Gao Bisi was also intentional. He must be taking revenge on her for what happened during the meal. The two went upstairs. Qi Zhigao didn't say much. He stood alone in the bathroom and smoked. Qiao Yuling tried to seduce him several times, but it didn't work. Qi Zhigao rejected her coldly. Qi Zhigao, what do you mean? Qiao Yuling snorted. Nothing, I just want to be alone. Qi Zhigao said coldly. Up to you. I'm going out to get some fresh air. Qiao Yuling turned around and walked out of the room, but she didn't go anywhere else. Instead, she went to find Wu Youhe. Just now, she was stuck between a rock and a hard place, and it was a good time to solve it. She originally wanted to solve it on Qi Zhigao, but this guy didn't know what to do, so she couldn't blame others. Seeing that Qiao Yuling really slammed the door and left, Qi Zhigao was slightly stunned. He wondered if he was being too unreasonable. Furthermore, Qiao Yuling was his fiancée after all. Thinking of this, he wanted to chase after her. But he didn't expect to see Qiao Yuling enter Wu Youhe's room with a seductive look the moment he stepped out of the door. As for Wu Youhe, he was practically half hugging and half carrying her in. A nefarious fire emerged from Qi Zhigao's chest. He wanted to rush over and break the door, but he shook his head after thinking about it. Qiao Yuling was in a bad mood. It was reasonable to complain to her best friend. What if she was fine? Moreover, it was me who drove Qiao Yuling away. Thinking of this, he calmed down and continued to smoke, but he didn't close the door. Instead, he left a gap in the door and kept an eye on Wu Youhe's room. About half an hour later, Qi Zhigao saw Qiao Yuling walk out of the room with a flushed face. This made Qi Zhigao's heart suddenly twitch. He couldn't help but curse in his heart. Did I really do something shameful? Qi Zhigao just wanted to rush out of the door, but he saw Qiao Yuling stop at the door of another room. She knocked on the door, which made Qi Zhigao's footsteps stop. He held back his anger and wanted to see what Qiao Yuling was going to do. The door opened, and the person who popped his head out was actually Gao Bisi. Qi Zhigao didn't expect this. Could Qiao Yuling be looking for Gao Bisi to settle the score? Actually, that wasn't the case. When Qiao Yuling came out from Wu Youhe's room, she didn't feel satisfied, so she thought of Gao Bisi. The anger of being hit had long been thrown to the back of her mind. Gao Bisi was slightly stunned when he saw the person outside the door. Why did you hit me just now? Also, did you drink too much? What nonsense were you talking about when you were eating? Of course, Qiao Yuling wouldn't directly say her purpose. That would seem a bit too cheap. I didn't do it on purpose. You know I drank too much. The billiard ball after that must have been done by Xiao Chang. That kid is a martial master and has internal force. I suspect that he injected internal force into the billiard ball, so it hit you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Gao Bisi explained. Is that so? After Qiao Yuling heard this, the expression on her face turned from gloomy to sunny. Of course. What's wrong, little beauty? Have you forgiven your brother? Come in and play with your brother. Gao Bisi saw the flush on Qiao Yuling's face. He was a little moved and reached out to hug her. After some hesitation, Qiao Yuling followed Gao Bisi into the room. Qi Zhigao was so angry that his whole body was trembling. He cursed in his heart, bitch, bitch. As expected. I was really blind. However, even though he was angry, for a moment, Qi Zhigao didn't know what to do. Although Chao Yuling was like this, if he fell out with Chao Yuling, it would be equivalent to the Qi family falling out with the Chao family. His helpers would all be gone. Not only that, but he might also become a sinner of the Qi family if he offended the Chao family. At that time, the position of young master would no longer be his. For a moment, he really didn't know how to make a decision. However, if he just accepted it like this, he would really be too aggrieved. Although Chen Xiaojiao, who Qi Ziyuan found, had a messy private life, after following Qi Ziyuan, she behaved herself and didn't cause any more trouble. However, this Chao Yuling was different. She was sneaky and pretended to be decent on the surface, but she did some dirty and shameless things behind his back. Finally, Qi Zhigao couldn't control his mood. If they fell out, so be it. At worst, he would not be the young master anymore. He really couldn't stand this kind of woman. This kind of woman was too hateful. She was simply playing him like a monkey. Qi Zhigao pushed the door open and rushed out. Then, he kicked Gao Bisi's door. With a loud bang, the door split open, and he saw an unbearable scene. He saw Chao Yuling kneeling on the ground, doing unimaginable things, while Gao Bisi was behind her. This made Qi Zhigao's blood boil. Chao Yuling, what else do you want to say? Gao Bisi, you bastard. Qi Zhigao pointed at the two of them and scolded at the top of his voice. Chao Yuling was shocked. She let out a scream and suddenly lay on the ground. She didn't believe that Qi Zhigao would rush in. Brat, are you crazy? How dare you kick my door? You don't want to live, do you? Gao Bisi was shocked and almost fell ill. Fortunately, his body shivered and he ended the fight. He didn't care about pulling up his pants. He directly shook off Chao Yuling and walked to Qi Zhigao. Qi Zhigao's eyes were burning. You actually went in directly like this? Chao Yuling, you want me to take safety measures when you are with me. You said that you are afraid of getting pregnant. You are really a bitch. Shameless. Gao Bisi, I will fight with you. Pa. Gao Bisi's slap sent Qi Zhigao sprawling on the ground. Although Qi Zhigao was a martial artist, his level was too low. He was simply not Gao Bisi's opponent, a high-level martial artist. You don't care about your own woman, and you still talk about me? Do you still have the face? Gao Bisi kicked Qi Zhigao's body again and again. In an instant, Qi Zhigao's head became like a pig's head. He didn't care anymore. He had just suffered a setback from Shao Chen and had nowhere to vent his anger. Now, all of it was directed at Qi Zhigao. Furthermore, he didn't show any mercy. Qi Zhigao spat out a mouthful of blood and fainted. At this time, Chao Yuling reacted and quickly shouted, Gao Bisi, don't hit him. He is dead. Dead is dead. What can I do? Gao Bisi sneered. He is just a child of an ordinary family. What can I do even if I beat him to death? He kicked the door and provoked me first. Even if the Warrior Guild and the Supernatural Investigation Bureau are involved, he is not in the right. I beg you, don't hit him. Although Chao Yuling was a bad person, she didn't want anything to happen to Qi Zhigao. Moreover, being with Qi Zhigao was also good for the Chao family. The Chao family was after the Qi family's business. Now, how could she be with Qi Zhigao in the future? If Gao Bisi didn't hit him, he would admit his mistake and ask the Gao family to compensate the Qi family. This matter would probably be over. But now, it was all too late. Go to hell. Gao Bisi jumped up and stomped heavily on Qi Zhigao's chest. Qi Zhigao spat out a mouthful of blood again. His sternum caved in. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Then, he ignored Chao Yuling. He put on his clothes alone and strode out. Sob sob sob. Chao Yuling cried. She didn't expect things to turn out like this. The loud noise also alerted the students in the nearby rooms. They all ran over to see. They saw Chao Yuling naked and Qi Zhigao lying on the ground. It was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Xiao Chen and Xiao Xiao also heard the noise. They walked out and saw this shocking scene. Qi Zhigao, what happened to you? Xiao Chen walked over quickly. His eyes swept over the naked Chao Yuling with a sharp gaze. What's going on? He was beaten by Gao Bisi. Chao Yuling said while crying. Why was he beaten? Xiao Chen asked. He caught me with Gao Bisi, and then. Chao Yuling couldn't care less about her embarrassment. She could only answer truthfully, Xiao Chen, you are so powerful. Save Qi Zhigao. He is dying. Chapter 717. Xiao Chen frowned. He didn't care if Chao Yuling called his real name. Instead, he ran the mantra and quickly healed Qi Zhigao. Qi Zhigao's injury was very serious. If it wasn't treated in time, he might not have long to live. What Xiao Chen didn't expect was that Gao Bisi had already treated Chao Yuling like this just now, and this woman still came to have sex with him. It was really hard to imagine. How could this woman be so cheap to this extent? It was simply unimaginable. In Qi Zhigao's body, many internal organs had been ruptured, and his bones were broken. If it weren't for Xiao Chen's universal vitality, he wouldn't have survived even if he was sent to the hospital. It took a while to heal Qi Zhigao's internal injuries, but Xiao Chen didn't care about those external injuries. After a while, Qi Zhigao woke up faintly. When he saw Xiao Chen treating him, his eyes suddenly became wet and tears fell. Brother Xiao, thank you, it's nothing. You go back to the room and rest first. Chao Yuling, this is your own matter. I don't want to interfere, but I hope you two can solve it properly. Don't force me to kill you. Xiao Chen said faintly, you should know that if I kill you, no one dares to do anything. Chao Yuliang is a dog in front of me, even worse than a dog. I can also trample his master, Qingmingxiang, to death if I say so. Chao Yuling shivered all over. Xiao Chen's gaze made her dodge a little. Her body was cold. At this moment, she finally knew what stupid thing she had done. Previously, she actually wanted to deal with Xiao Chen. That was simply courting death. If she wasn't Qi Zhigao's fiancée, Xiao Chen would have killed her already, right? Yes. Chao Yuling didn't dare to say anything more. She was going to help Qi Zhigao back to the room. Get lost. Qi Zhigao broke free. Even if you don't find it shameful, I find it shameful. After that, he staggered towards the direction of his room. Chao Yuling quickly put on her clothes and quickly chased after him. This kind of thing was the most difficult to intervene. Xiao Chen could help him beat Gao Bisi, but he couldn't beat Chao Yuling. He could only let Qi Zhigao solve it himself. The onlookers also didn't know the truth. They didn't know how badly Qi Zhigao was injured, nor did they know how much effort Xiao Chen had spent to save him. Seeing that there was no good show to watch, they all dispersed. In fact, for this kind of thing, everyone was just watching the fun, and it had nothing to do with them. Apart from sympathizing with Qi Zhigao, it had nothing to do with them, so they also went about their own business. Brother, this is bad. Xiao Xiao whispered, Qi Zhigao is really unlucky. If you had promised him, he wouldn't be like this. Xiao Chen sighed and rubbed Xiao Zhao's head. This Chao Yuling is really tough. I don't like him. I've always treated him as my brother, Xiao Xiao said. What about me? Xiao Chen felt a little awkward. I've always treated you as my boyfriend, said Xiao Xiao. Pfft. Xiao Chen was dumbfounded. What kind of logic is this? My brother is my boyfriend, but Qi Zhigao is my brother. I don't know what Xiao Zhao's little brain is thinking. Do you really think so? I lied to you. But before I see the person I like, I will use you as a shield. Xiao Xiao stuck out her tongue. That's more like it. Xiao Chen breathed a sigh of relief. Otherwise, it would be really difficult. Let's go and see them. Don't fight, said Xiao Xiao. Now? Xiao Chen's expression was a little weird. How do we go now? Let them solve it themselves. You're right. Xiao Xiao thought about it. She saw that Qiao Yuling was not wearing clothes, and her body was sticky. It was disgusting. She didn't want to go. Let's go downstairs. It seems that the group activity has started. And then let's go down and see. Xiao Chen nodded. Qi Zhigao returned to the room, and Qiao Yuling followed. As soon as she entered the door, she kissed Qi Zhigao, wanting to get forgiveness. However, Qi Zhigao was so disgusted that he almost vomited. Get lost. Don't disgust me. Qiao Yuling was stunned. Only then did she remember that there were still a few crystal dry marks hanging on her mouth. Anyone with a discerning eye would know what it was. It was normal for Qi Zhigao to be disgusted. She could only kneel in front of Qi Zhigao. I'm sorry, I was wrong. What did you say to me? Didn't you say that nothing happened? Are your words bullsh*t? Qi Zhigao roared, Qiao Yuling, from today on, you are you, and I am me. We have nothing to do with each other. If you want to be a b*tch, go ahead. No. Qi Zhigao, please forgive me. I really didn't mean to betray you. It's just that there was some contact in the past, and it's not good to cut it off. Otherwise, they would have threatened me with these things. I was just afraid that you would know, so I compromised. Really? Qiao Yuling cried. I'm sorry. What's the point of saying this? Qi Zhigao sneered. If you confessed earlier and cut off contact with them, I might not be so angry, but now, Zhigao, think about it. If we fall out, then the Qi family and the Qiao family will be against each other. The business of the Qi family in Songming City and the business of the Qiao family in your family will be affected. Are you willing to do that? And you will have no chance with the position of the young master. Qiao Yuling said, calm down and think about it. What? Are you threatening me? Qi Zhigao said angrily. I don't dare. What I said is the truth. Zhigao, please forgive me. At worst, I will agree to let you find a few more lovers, okay? I can help you find them. I won't dare to do it again. Qiao Yuling cried and begged. Qi Zhigao had actually calmed down at this moment. He was hot-headed before, but now he was thinking about the consequences. Qiao Yuling was right. If they fell out, it meant that the Qi family and the Qiao family would fall out. Thinking of this, Qi Zhigao sighed. Are you sure you won't dare to do it in the future? I won't dare. You can supervise me or put a bug on me. Qiao Yuling was happy. It seemed that Qi Zhigao was soft-hearted. She quickly said. Okay, then I'll see your performance in the future. But it's impossible for me to treat you like before. Qi Zhigao said faintly. Although he hated Qiao Yuling, he could only bear it when he thought about the business of the Qi family and the Qiao family. It was a small matter if he didn't want to be the young master, but he would be a sinner if it affected the family. Just watch my performance. I'm going to take a bath. Qiao Yuling nodded quickly. By the way, is Xiao Chen so powerful? He can actually heal you? You recovered so quickly? Well, don't tell anyone about this. Qi Zhigao warned. Although he also admired Xiao Chen, he also knew that some things had to be kept secret. I know, but he is so powerful, and you have a good relationship with him. You can use his help to help you get promoted. Qiao Yuling said. In this way, you will be the young master, you don't need to say these things. Qi Zhigao looked at Qiao Yuling coldly. Why don't you take a bath? Don't you find it disgusting? I'm going to vomit. I'll go right away. Qiao Yuling walked to the bathroom, but but she was thinking in her heart. It turns out that Xiao Chen is so powerful, and he has a good relationship with Qi Zhigao. Can I use him? Why don't I seduce Xiao Chen myself? When Xiao Chen gets the benefits, I have to help. It's just that guy doesn't seem to like me. I can't seduce him. Xiao Chen sneezed and cursed who was talking about him behind his back. Xiao Xiao was stunned. Brother, did you catch a cold? No, how can I catch a cold so easily? I'm already a martial arts master. Xiao Chen said. Oh, you scared me. Xiao Xiao breathed a sigh of relief. Xiao Xiao, are you okay? Why are you so concerned? Sun Nanxue heard Xiao Xiao's nervous tone and couldn't help but tease. What's wrong with me caring about my brother? Right, do you know what to play? Xiao Xiao asked. It seems to be something like truth or dare. It's just to go on stage and draw lots. You have to do whatever you draw. Anyway, it's just these games. What else can there be? Sun Nanxue smiled. Isn't every gathering like this? That's true. I read in some novels that they will play something like a safe kiss. It's just two people holding a glass in the middle and kissing. That's quite interesting. Xiao Xiao said. Forget it. Our class monitor is so conservative. We can't play such a large-scale game. Besides, if two boys draw the same number, it'll be terrible. Sun Nanxue said. It's gay. Xiao Xiao smiled. They entered the recreation room. At this time, the recreation room had been tidied up. There were chairs arranged neatly in a circle. In the middle, there was something like a lottery box. Two students stood beside the lottery box. One of them was the class monitor, called Shen Muzhen. The other was his assistant, called Wang Tianqi. She was a girl. All right, everyone sit down. You might have guessed it. The game we are playing is called Truth or Dare. You have to do whatever you draw. Of course, it's not compulsory to participate. If you don't want to play, you can leave now. But if you are sitting here, you have to play. Shen Muzhen said, you can't say that you don't want to play and still stay here to watch the fun. That's not allowed. If you laugh at others and don't go on stage, it'll be boring. Shen Muzhen's words were fair. Otherwise, if some people didn't want to go on stage and make a fool of themselves, they wouldn't have a chance. Xiao Chen glanced at Xiao Xiao and said, are we playing here? Of course, we're playing. Xiao Xiao was very excited. It's nothing. There won't be any embarrassing risks. Xiao Chen nodded. Since Xiao Xiao likes it, let's play. However, what surprised Xiao Chen was that Qi Zhigao actually came with Chao Yuling. The relationship between the two didn't seem to be affected much. Only Chao Yuling's red eyes proved what happened just now. You're tuning into the Journey of the Soul YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.